Hello, YouTube, my old friend. It's time for America to end, or something like that. Oh, it's calling it now. Two different artists. One of them sucks. At least I'm pretty sure I heard that. I heard that the guy from Disturbed said some disturbing things.
Yeah. Yeah. Draymond's not, I can't say he's like the best person, so he definitely has. So,
But you know who's not bad? Brendan Urie. Love that guy. Love that guy. Panic at the Disco. Woo.
oh, I was about to say, who's that? Why do I not know his name? Actually, that doesn't surprise me.
Probably because you haven't had the same fantasies about him that I've had.
That's probably true.
Yeah. Yeah, very beautiful, beautiful man. Welcome everybody
Oh,
to
he's got
Calling
a
It
beautiful
Now.
voice too.
Oh God, yeah, and his range is insane. I legitimately, I feel like if everything wasn't so fucking like corporate now, everything wasn't so. I'm gonna sound so cliche, but if music wasn't so corporate and shit, I feel like he would have been like a Freddie Mercury level thing. But instead, he's still, I mean, obviously, he's still been very, very successful. But Jesus Christ, he's talented guy. And then, of course, I also just like ex-Mormons who have an affinity for Billy Joel. Welcome to Calling It Now.
The more
Calling
you know.
It Now. If you disagree with us on stuff like how MAGA is terrible, oh, we don't have to put for women in this one. That's just a hangover from the last one. I mean, we could. You are, in fact, a woman, unless you have something to tell me.
No, I am. Though I almost wanted to make a joke and be like, am I?
Who knows? Oh, you froze. Can you
Again, I hate everything.
This is so annoying. It's a thing that keeps happening with the integration between Zoom and this thing. Let me here. I think I know a way that tends to fix it. Let me fix that
Hello?
title.
Oh my
MAGA.
gosh. I'm pressing the button and it's not like coming back.
Huh.
Hello?
Are you back on the preview on Zoom though?
No, I'm
Okay, so participant source, and now
there.
I'm
Gosh,
aha.
dang. It just wouldn't let me click the
Wonderful.
camera again. At least it freezes me not in a horrible place.
I assume I will now freeze because that seems to be the pattern here. Anyway, our phone number is 336-543-2101. If you want to help us get into more MAGA feeds, get more MAGA callers, all you got to do is hit like and maybe share the stream out. Billy says, I think this is the last I can spend for today on YouTube, so I'm just going to get it in early. Thank you, Ari and Jimmy, for all that you do and suffering through whatever horror is to come. Billy,
Thank
you are always so appreciated. You have been so generous with us, with the channels and everything, and we really, really appreciate it. And you know, we'll see you at the charity event next Saturday if you're available. If you're available, we're doing our big RFR charity fundraiser a week from Saturday. I think you guys probably want to know there's a little bit of an elephant in the room. Actually, the elephant isn't in the room. Get it? Because the elephant is the representative of the GOP.
Yeah.
Right? There's kind of
I got it.
Kind of works on multiple levels. The elephant guys, Jimmy's funny. Also, I am producing today, so if I seem a little bit more distracted, there is not an elephant in the room. What happened, guys? Wasn't right now supposed to be a debate between Jimmy Snow and with Javon against Professor Mike and some TikTok MAGA person he was bringing with her? Well, yes, that was what was supposed to be happening. However, this morning, I received a message that apparently he had double booked. And the thing that would be less prioritized is not the thing that had the potential to, if he did well in the debate, legitimize him as a debater and as a creator. No. Whatever else is going on was clearly more important. And so he says we need to reschedule. Now, I got to tell you, I sent a message asking if we can do it next Tuesday or next Thursday. Can we reschedule now? That is on scene. That just says scene. So
crickets.
Yeah. Trip. Aw, Luthien's still here. Luthien can't produce tonight, but she's still here listening and is in my heart. God, she's the best. I sexually harass her at work a lot. Anyway, So if you want to call in and show up where your boy did not show up, the dude with the Democrats can't debate. Granted, we're not Democrats. Democrats can't debate shirt. Oh, wait, he doesn't even own. We were just talking about this before the show. Here's the thing, guys. He wears these shirts and he posts. He's kind of famous for putting up like, he's like a muscle guy. So he's like, by the way, for the record, the shape and size and type of muscles he has are not possible by natural means. I'm not going to bring it up during the debate because that would just be like straight up ad hominem trying to like sort of make fun of him, whatever. But since we're not at the debate, I do want to bring it up now. That is a roid body. That is a roid body. The guy from the pick yourself up from your bootstrap side, that dude is definitely juicing. I'm telling you right now, ain't no way he ain't juicing. Anyway, he posts these photos of Democrats can't debate, him in a muscle shirt. Democrats can't debate. Blah, 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 blah. That's what he's famous for. I went to his Instagram because the dude could not. Last week, I'm literally like, can you send me a photo that actually works for the thumbnail? Because he sent me like a big zoom in of his face. Same with his co-host. It's like, that doesn't work for the thumbnail. We need a little room and a little space. And he kept telling me how it's not that serious. I'm like, I don't know. I have the successful platform. You don't. Maybe I know how to take my job seriously. Maybe you don't. Anyway.
No way. No way, no. Duh.
That sounds insane.
He's a professor. He obviously knows more.
Right. He's so smart. The person he was going to be bringing on, by the way, I hope she still comes on. I don't know what to make of her because she doesn't make any original content. All of her content on TikTok is her lip syncing like rants Republicans in Congress are going on at hearings. So it's just her like it's Josh Hawley's voice and her lip syncing something Josh Hawley said.
I'm curious. You're going to have to send me her profile.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And so I don't know what to make of her. She might be perfectly pleasant. I might love talking to her. Who knows? Anyway, that dude who's always wearing these. It turns out, here's the thing. If you put a picture in the gym, big muscles, Democrats can't debate. You're implying that not only do you feel that way or whatever, what side you're on, but that's so much your side. You go and you wear that out into public. You tell the public what's going on. Like, this is who I am. I don't care what you like. Fuck you. The dude that shirt does not actually exist in his closet. I'm not even joking. If you go to his Instagram, the exact same photo, and I know because there's the same picture of this. He looks like a rather whimsical, I would say, like Middle Eastern man, kind of looking over at like just beyond his bicep there, just beyond his bicep, just kind of like, huh? What's going on over there? There's that guy's behind. It's in every one of these photos. It's the exact same photo every time, but he uses AI to change the text on the shirt. So he's not even actually like wearing the shirt out. He's not actually like, yeah, I'll go out into the real world with this sort of. By the way, I forget that I'm wearing shirts that arguably I don't want to wear out everywhere in Texas. I'll tell you, the other day I was wearing oh man, I have one of the Secular Student Alliance ones that something about abortions in vagina. And I just went to the grocery store in it and I was like, am I safe here?
The real answer, not really.
Probably not. Yeah.
Oopsie.
Yeah, probably not, guys. Probably not the safest move I've ever made. So anyway. Yeah.
That's when you keep a hoodie in the car.
In Texas. Now I'm getting pulled over for like, sir, you are clearly on crack or fentanyl. You are wearing a hoodie in Texas spring weather. Let's be so clear.
Or they could, actually, hold on. If you didn't have a beard, at least I'm sure that under your beard, you have quite a baby face. They might have assumed that you were younger.
I don't have a baby face under Luthien. Anyway, just kidding, guys. That was a good one. Come on.
I just did the head slap. I was like, oh my God. I like how somebody's spamming that this is a fake number. No, you just have to get through a screener, which means you hung up and you're a child.
Wait, somebody's saying it was a fake number?
In my TikTok live.
336-543-2101. You get on the line, the person gets on and just gets your name and what you're calling in on. By the way, the number one reason we do that, because I think people think it's like we're trying to stack the deck in our favor. Legitimately, the number one reason we have a screener is to tell all of our fans who call in to say, hey, I just want to tell you you're doing a good job, or I just want to go on a rant of my own. You gathered your audience. I want to go ahead and like rant to your audience. But okay. I want to go ahead and rant to your audience. I want to go ahead and like, we just don't, we don't want those. We want to make sure we're getting debate callers. And then also, let's be so clear, because we're targeting MAGA, we do have to do the things to try and filter out the people who are trolls. Sorry, guys. Like I said, I am producing. I should be just leaning on you a little more heavily this time.
Well, we'll see what we can do.
Oh, Canada.
Oh, Canada. See, I didn't even do that right.
My home and native land.
I just went high-pitched on that one.
Patriot love. Anyway, sorry, guys. We don't have... right now, the reschedule, I'm sure, I mean, a man with all those muscles. Look at me, guys. I got chicken arms.
Oh, dude, though, I went back and looked.
They're only strong enough to do woodworking.
And I went back and I have like no arm strength, period. Like I barely have a bump that goes up when I flex. Because
I wouldn't even flex. I'd be too embarrassed for people to assess it.
I don't care.
I sometimes I'll push my forearms out because I'll be like, yeah. Those they get pretty toned. Nice toned forearms. That's about it. That's about it.
Actually, see, now this is going back since we're talking about arms.
We do have calls screening, just so people know. We're giving it a second for those to get all screened in. Go ahead.
I almost wish I had worn something over. Like we went out and I didn't play tennis, but the kid played tennis with her dad, and I was watching, and I got sunburnt just sitting there, existing in life. So that sucks. I wish I had worn, and it's so bad.
You got, how bad did you get burned?
Oh, I mean, lobster. Like you can see.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it hurts.
Rock lobster.
Yeah.
Does the sun make you sick? It makes me sick. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm out in the sun for more than like 20 minutes, I'm like nauseous and I feel like I need to lay down and I'm just upset and I'm cranky.
Oh yeah, no, if I'm out there for too long, 20 minutes is not too long for me, but there is a reason why I joke with people and say that I'm allergic to the sun. I don't mean like I'm actually allergic, but you know, it does not like me at all.
All right. Well, I think we'll go ahead and get started again because I'm producing. There will be little things here and there that I have to do to get us started. That's not what I meant to do. I've got to get our name tags updated and all that kind of shoot. So let's go ahead and bring on Brian in Florida. Brian in Florida, you are on the line with Jimmy and Ari. Brian, starting out, how old are you?
39.
39-year-old Brian. All right, Brian. Well, what?
Like creeping up on 40.
How close are you?
Not too long. You know.
Have you hit midlife crises yet?
Oh yeah, well,
yeah.
Yes and no. I don't have enough money to have a midlife crisis. I think
not like that. Not like
midlife crisis. You know, you got to buy a car. You know.
No, not the financial midlife crisis. We're talking about like an actual midlife crisis.
Yeah, I always thought it was kind of a joke, like that people were referring to. I didn't know how bad it hits you around 35 when you kind of start to realize you wasted the healthiest body you'll ever have. I didn't know how like rough the facing your mortality would be, and then when it hits, you're like, "Oh shit, this is a sitcom premise, and this shit will fuck you up."
Yeah.
Anyway,
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, at least we're off to a good start.
Younger years pretty well. I beat my body up pretty good.
Oh, that's good.
Did some fun stuff, and
I only beat up part of my body.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, Brian, what point you're calling in as MAGA? What? It looks like you have a question. What question do you have for us?
I was just curious because, and it's a good faith question. I'm curious. Like, you guys aren't Democrats, and you
Correct.
Clearly don't want anyone to vote Republican. So what
Correct.
is your suggestion? Like, I mean, obviously you vote. I would suppose that you would suggest people have voted for Harris in the last election. But like, how
In
are
the
you
general
helping if
election,
you just
certainly,
don't-
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm curious, what's an ideal candidate? Are there any ideal candidates that you guys see? And I'm just trying to understand the archetype of what like a good candidate actually looks like.
I'll take a Democrat. I might even take a Republican if they support Medicare for all. And I'm a person who can afford my health care. I'm a person who I used to not be able to afford my health care, and I was born into a system that is very hard to escape. But luckily, I am technologically literate and deceptively charismatic. So I've been able to make more money putting my face on the internet and gabbing than I was making working jobs that were more manual and labor or more skill heavy. Anyway, it's kind of a scam, the whole like what makes money system. It's kind of bullshit. But Medicare for all, I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. It would be hard to be any party and be pro Medicare for all and not get my endorsement. You have to be like a Nazi
I like
too.
the idea that that's one of the things that because of, and I'm torn on that. I'm torn on healthcare because on one hand, I understand that competition creates quality, but on the other hand, I don't want to be cold-hearted, and it is something that is a great expense and could possibly, is maybe resetting the game, maybe for like a short period of time where it's government-run healthcare, maybe for like 5 years or something like that, and then let the market run from there, just to bring the costs way down.
Definitely not.
No.
I don't know. Like,
what do you think? Let's take healthcare out of it. What do you think the world looks like? Let's say 10 years from now. 5 is short enough that it's like it could look not fundamentally as changed, but 10 years from now, what do you see as being the biggest fundamental change in, for example, the job market and the economy?
Oh, there's definitely trends towards automation, and I think individuals starting their own businesses, little micro economies, I think everyone loves something and has a specialty, and I think there's going to be people who need to either create a business or do a podcast. There's all kinds of things you could do, but
right. But if everybody's already making podcasts, people who are wanting to escape the wheel right now, we are oversaturated in the market with podcasts. Small businesses that do niche passion-based things are failing. The small businesses that tend to succeed are businesses like, hey, I learned how to do sheet metal shit at my other job. I started my own sheet metal company. So like the niche things that the robots and the AI are coming for, those are gone too. So following your passion jobs will only be supported if we live in a truly socialist system, because the other jobs are gone. So this is my point, Brian, where you're saying we give it 5 years and then we let it correct. There is no market in 10 years. There is no, the biggest thing is I don't care if you were a Republican. I mean, I do, but I don't care. We are where we are. I don't care so much if you were a Republican 20 years ago. I don't care as much if you were a Republican 100 years ago, or a conservative, we'll say, since parties, but the liberal versus conservative represents the values, even though the parties swapped. Liberal or conservative, I don't really care. All we have left now is socialism or die. And I don't understand how so many Republicans are sitting and going, I'm MAGA, I voted for Trump. AI is coming, not just for jobs, my job. And AI is coming for the job I would train into to replace this job, because AI isn't like previous innovation. It's coming for everything at once. And so there will be some specialty people for a while who will even get paid more. The people who will still have coding jobs will be the best paid coding jobs there are. And there'll be the 2% left of the 90, and then 98% of coders will lose their jobs. That's what's coming. We have no choice to accept socialism or die. And by the way, rich people, I don't think you're one, Brian, you have no choice but socialism or die, because, and I'm not threatening you myself, if you don't, the people you leave behind as you try to make a micro world that has all the resources, and all the people who got left behind by robotics and AI are left to fend for themselves, they will kill you. So this is what I'm confused about, how anybody can be conservative or MAGA and support Donald Trump, who has made AI deregulation more of a thing, has let Elon Musk do whatever he wants with robotics, do whatever he wants with automating things like truck driving, and all they are limited by right now is how long it takes to scale.
What's actually kind of freaky is even things like labor, like putting in a driveway. What they're doing right now, or building a house even, what they're doing is they're fitting the laborers up in these suits. Those like motion capture suits that actors wear when they're filming like Avatar or something like that. They're recording crews actually doing the job and working, and then they're teaching the robot. So very, very soon, there's going to be robots doing manual labor. So that's going to be...
And that's only when we're still building houses needing that traditional way, by the way. Like, the other thing they're doing is creating other ways to build houses that a human can't do. We've built houses the way a quadruped that can lift between 150 and 250 pounds regularly if they are well in shape and they are a laborer. That's what we limited to. How do we design a house around those restrictions? Robots don't have those restrictions. So like what you're describing is just the little things during the transition period. We'll be pooping fucking houses out with big old 3D printers before long, because we don't have to restrict ourselves to what human quadrupeds can do.
There's already 3D printed houses out there.
There was, I guess the idea that when the bike was invented, that maybe the cobbler would lose business. And then when the car was invented, the bike guy lost business. And then, there's an innovation aspect to it. And what we're seeing in companies right now is that instead of a C-suite of like 50 people, it's like 6. And like the companies are getting smaller and the workloads are getting bigger. But it keeps consolidating. Well, eventually it's anybody who has an idea and put together a business, and as long as you're making mutually beneficial transactions, as long as you have something to offer. And here's like,
people are right. Sorry, I misspoke. I do want to correct you real quick. Humans are bipeds. We use 4 limbs, but we do walk on only 2. Brian, if we can bring it to your being MAGA here, though, because I'm very, very confused on this. Like, you're mentioning when you come out with the bike, cobblers might go out of business. But right now, we're not targeting the cobbler and asking the cobbler to get with the times. We're targeting the human who cobbles, and the cobbles part is incidental. We're just targeting. It's crazy that right now, MAGA largely is pushing a great replacement theory. There is a great replacement theory. It has nothing to do with brown people. It has nothing to do with Soros. It has nothing to do with Jews. It has to do with Elon Musk, AI, Sam Altman, robotics, OpenAI, Claude, Gemini. That is the great replacement theory, because they are literally trying to replace humans and they're just going as hard and as fast as they can, pretending it's a competition. If we don't do it, what if China beats us to it? Not at all thinking about the human cost of those things. Guys, if you're watching right now, you have 5 years to get rich, or you'll probably die unless we actually go to socialism.
That's a scary thought.
Yeah, people, are very adaptive. We and with AI, and I was going to say that, things that I couldn't communicate before, and I think you might have the same experience when you use AI, it really does unlock. And I think people who have a hard time communicating verbally, but maybe they're very intelligent, they have a great idea, well, now they can type it out and actually get it done. So I think it's going to unlock a lot of new businesses, and we'll see how the innovation shakes out. But people I think are going to have to start their own businesses and learn how to be their own lawyer, be their own doctor, you're going to have to, figure all these things out.
Right. So with the computer that you're going to have to purchase and put in your home, which you have to purchase or rent, going over the internet, which isn't considered a public utility, despite the fact that you can't compete or live without it. Like you're talking about, there is going to be a level of all these resources will be there that you will be able to be more self-reliant than ever, but your food still comes from somewhere.
Yep.
And you're either going to have to exchange capital, which means property rights for food, or there will be a system that is separate from a capital exchange for food, for shelter, for whatever else.
Right.
So why are you still riding with MAGA, Brian? This is what I don't get. That MAGA has zero plans for the replacement, because you were saying humans adapt. How do humans adapt when they create a human 2.0 that is superior to them in every way?
Right. They make that robot work for them. Their own robot. You can create your own robot right now. Right now, I have a robot.
You cannot. Can you create a robot that can compete with Elon Musk's robot right now?
Well, here's the thing. I don't need to compete with Elon. I'm using Codex. I'm using Codex, which is ChatGPT, OpenAI platform. And
first of all, Brian, that means you have a base level to be able to understand how to do those things, and you have the time to do those things. I had two MAGA guys on 2 weeks ago to debate. They couldn't figure out Zoom, how to use Zoom correctly, and how to set up a stream key, and one of them is a full-time YouTuber.
That was funny.
So you're saying, like, so guys, you're going to have to learn how to adapt. This guy hasn't adapted to his job.
I mean, to be fair, you've had that happen where you get your speaker screwed up. I mean, if you're cold, if you haven't done it a lot, maybe you're using
Did you watch
Google,
did you watch the thing did you watch the debate? I literally had to explain to him how to find a stream key. He still sent it to the wrong one.
So funny.
It was literally, this was a man who had never, has brags about his millions of views a month and has never set up a stream key before.
And eventually Jimmy's like, well, you're alive, so we're done. Like, let's continue, because he just couldn't figure it out.
So Brian, how are you MAGA? How are you capitalist when these are the guys? Forget trans issues, forget social issues, forget queerness, because honestly, if I'm talking to MAGA, I think I have to say, forget all of those things, because generally we know the difference between the people on the right and the left are, I care about me and my family and no one else. I want to make sure they're safe. That's my responsibility. I even sympathize with that position. I understand where it comes from. It's just not who I am anymore. This is going to fuck those people too. So why still capitalist? Why still right wing when you are fucked? Because you won't be able to outcompete Elon Musk's robotics.
I don't need it. If you can use the robotics in your favor, that's the only choice you have right now.
Yeah,
is to create your own robot that you own.
But that goes back to everything that Jimmy was saying, where that still requires having capital in order to do that. You have to have the skills, the ability, and the funds in order to accumulate everything that you need to make said robot, or to purchase a laptop to utilize AI in that way, or to create a new AI tool of your own. You're leaving out everyone that doesn't have that capacity.
It sounds like you're saying, like, I'm at home and I'm building my own robots. And while you're doing that, these billionaires who have an idea of their goals are buying islands and bunkers because they think things are going to go a different way than you think with AI, with robotics, as they are the ones building them. They won't even guarantee the thing they're building won't kill us, let alone replace us, nor are they trying to not replace us. You get these guys on stage and they go, hey, when the car came out, people with horses went out of business, but they got new jobs and they adapted. And only that guy ahead of Claude is the one saying, like, that is not going to be an option here, because we're also coming for the jobs that this technology will also replace the jobs that they would train into.
Yeah, you're gonna have to own your own business or provide a service, or find a way to provide value.
To who? Provide value to who?
You have the whole internet to.
Where are they getting their money?
What do you mean? I mean,
to me, you're saying you're going to have to be the one to stand out.
Well, there are going to be companies. I mean, we're in an environment where we have anti-monopoly laws. So
and we don't follow them.
Not at all.
And there's going to be new ideas and new creations and new ways of doing things. Like right now, like we're not in the Jetsons where flying cars are happening. And there's going to be people working towards that. There's going to be new jobs. There's going to be different jobs. The world's changing, but as long as we keep innovating, and I think AI has opened Pandora's box in terms of creativity and what people can actually do. And there's a lot of really awesome ideas happening.
You realize the creative jobs are the jobs that have been lost first, right? Like photographers, photo editors have already gone out of business because of AI. The country music top charts right now recently featured a #1 AI generated song and has several other AI generated songs on the top. Creative jobs have been the first ones to go, even though 10 years ago when I was saying AI is going to fucking kill us, AI is going to end the economy, people were saying, nope, I have a creative job. There will always be a job for me. And then it came for them first. Then you hear mechanics say, I can just drive a car. This actually happened in a debate I had like 7 years ago on YouTube. I think it was in a Discord debate, but I think it was streamed, where the guy was like, I'm a mechanic. I can get in the car and I can drive. And just from a little thing that feels off and a sound I hear, I can tell what's gone wrong. And a computer's never going to replace that. And it was the dumbest argument. You think because you don't think a computer will be able to sit in the car and drive it, that it won't have a technology superior to that, where it literally plugs into a port and goes, there's a fucking loose screw in this fucking engine block. Like I figured it out in 0.03 seconds, never even had to turn the car on because I can scan if everything's in its place and functional and what the last drive did. And we already know that's happening because since then, these computerized cars diagnose themselves before you go into the mechanic for a lot of the shit too. I just don't know, man. Brian, I don't know how to hear from people like you who are just like, well, there will be businesses. No, there won't. Right now, we're living in a time where these big businesses are putting the small businesses out of business. Part of that is Trump's fault. Trump is putting tariffs up, which are a tax on small businesses. Big businesses can afford them, and then they actually make more money because when the small grocery store can't pay the tariffs and declares bankruptcy, they absorb all of those customers. So a lot of that is Trump, but it's also this coming AI. Not to mention the ginormous bubble it's in. So even the people who are like, "Okay, I'll protect myself the traditional old way, and I'll get in the stock market and I'll invest." You have these companies. Tesla is trading at something like 100 times revenue. That's not what vehicle companies ever trade at. And so Brian, I'm sitting here and I'm going, dude. Again, forget all of the social issues. I don't even need you to like queer people, even though I'm a queer man, right? I don't need you to think about any of that. Right now, the war is not between left and right. It is versus workers and those who devalue labor. That's who it is. And right now, those who devalue labor, billionaires and millionaires, are winning. And they are going to fuck us up. You and me. The two of us are going to get fucked by them while we're sitting here fighting about whether or not trans women should be able to swim. It is literally like so bleak when you think about it and you put it in those terms and you're like, Jesus Christ, we are fucking falling for their billionaire bullshit. I had to get a lot off my chest. Sorry, Brian.
No, you're good. I'm holding out hope, and I'm seeing innovation, and I'm trying to innovate, and I'm learning myself, and I'm fighting to keep my house. I'm fighting to, stay afloat, and it's not easy, man. It really is a tough time right now.
That word fighting is going to become more liberal or literal every year. Just
every year, yeah.
Every year, it's going to become not just fighting like I'm struggling. It's going to at some point become fighting. Something is coming for those things.
Yep, because like just right now with the state of the economy and everything that's going on, we've seen an increase in Chapter 11 bankruptcies. We're seeing an increase this year, just since January, in an increase of foreclosures, which neither of these are good signs for an upcoming market. So you keep telling people to start a business, innovate, do this, do that. that's not feasible for everyone. And especially right now with everything that's going on with having fewer small businesses even file for LLCs or anything like that in the year 2025.
Brian, if you don't mind me asking, you don't have to go super specific.
It's funny you say that, Ari. I actually did start a business, and I actually took out a line of credit. It was a $15,000 line of credit, and I spent about $9,000 in advertising to get it up and going. And I would have made a return on my money if the partner that I had gotten with had actually paid their bill. Now I have to take them to court, and it's like I guess they ran out of money. So now I'm like screwed because they didn't pay me. So basically I started a business. The business, started to work, and then now I have to like fight these guys for my money. I'm probably not going to get it. So
hell is other people, dude. Brian, what part of Florida are you in? You don't have to be too specific, but Panhandle, Southern Florida?
South Florida, West Florida.
I just want to look up something real quick. So when I say you are literally going to be fighting for your home, the one that is coming soon, you have in specifically Southern Florida, a project called Project Jarvis. I don't know where St. Lucie is. And a hyperscale development in Fort Meade. These are ginormous proposals for, do you know what a hyperscale data center is?
I assume it's like a data center for AI, right?
Yeah. Have you heard about the one they're building in Utah that at launch will use twice the amount of power than the rest of the state combined? That's the one Kevin O'Leary, who I hope falls into a hole, is building.
There's also one.
I think they're going to overbuild because I think they're going to overbuild because one thing that's happening with AI is that it's starting to prune itself. Like before, it was like cumulative information, and one thing that we do as humans when we remember things is our brain kind of prunes the things that it doesn't necessarily need, and they have control over that process. So
this is purely hopeful, though, Brian, and it still needs electricity. That's just hope. Brian, do you know what the effective data centers are on the local community? How's your power grid where you are in Southern Florida?
Okay, I mean, I live in a 2,000 square foot house. It's a one story.
How's the power grid there?
I don't know. I spend $150 a month.
Yeah.
I guess it's good. I mean, there's a lot of thunder.
So when I say you're going to be fighting for your home, your power bill is going to go up, despite the fact that your electricity is going to get worse. You will be deprioritized. You're going to see rolling blackouts if this hyperscale thing happens. Literally, like
$4,200 a month. That's mortgage and utilities. $4,200 a month.
Yeah, and Florida already approved a 4-year hike of $17 billion. I think 17 billion. I might be wrong on the amount. To increase the amount that everybody pays on their electric bill.
Brian, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that right now there's not a window for an opportunistic person to make some money. If you're watching right now and you've ever learned any coding, go get a $100 a month Claude Code subscription and look up like all of your local businesses, cold call them and show them the website that they don't know you built in 2 minutes using Claude Code that imports all their info from Google and makes them a working website and go, guys, I've got this website for you. It's 1,000. Like right now, there is a short window of opportunity where if you know the systems that are coming out, you can go and make bank right now. However, most people have their lives, have their families. They aren't privy to that amount of information. And that window is temporary and will slam shut. I don't even feel security in my job. And fundamentally, my job is being a person talking to other people. The problem is if the people I'm talking to, they're not the rich people who have the money and the resources. I'm talking to the people who are middle class or potentially even poor who occasionally buy things from ads they see. And as soon as they can't buy things from ads they see, YouTubers will go bankrupt. That is my future where I will have to have adapted before that happens. There isn't a sector where these jobs are safe. And just because you might even be finding a window right now of ooh, for the next 5 years can thrive really well. What could then go wrong? I'll tell you what can go wrong. The shit that's coming, the robot and the AI that can just steal what you're doing.
And Jimmy, real quick, isn't that part of the issue that's happening in Corpus Christi right now is because of AI? I can't remember. I know that they've been having issues with power there for a while.
I don't remember if it's Corpus Christi or not. I know that when I first started seeing data center signs go up around Texas where I live, I was like, what's the big deal? That's going to bring jobs and stuff. Like they're going up, put them here. And then I started looking into it and holy shit, they ruin communities.
Yeah, I think everyone had that thought process at first.
They take your water, they take your electricity, they deprioritize your grid. The only reason why, I'm not going to say what it is, but I live on the same grid of a huge manufacturing company that is one of these billionaire companies that is very invested in AI. And that's the only reason in the home I'm currently at, I might not, kind of like if you're right by an international airport, your power doesn't go out when the rest of the city does. I might be on one of those grids just where I live.
That makes sense.
You know, I'm in a good spot too, where like I'm right around the corner from a middle school, and I guess this housing development that just popped up, actually, me and a lot of this whole community, it's like a MAGA settlement, basically. Like a lot of people after COVID moved to Florida, and there's some specific spots that popped up very, very quickly. And I'm in this development that's like basically like a MAGA community, and we're hooked up next to the middle school there.
Brian, you said your power bill is $150 a month, right?
Yeah.
Isn't Florida also trying to even further privatize so more companies like in Texas can pop up as electric power delivery companies? Am I wrong about that?
No, you're right.
So
you might know.
Ari's in Florida. That's why I was asking Ari, but you're too.
Competition, right?
No, that's what you think. It turns out it's not. They're basically, it's like when you say more competition, but the competition is a bunch of pyramid schemes. So like when doTERRA and Living Essentials are both putting out oil, essential oils. So in Texas, you said you live in Florida. You're even further south than me. You're probably hotter than I am. I also live in about 2,000 square feet, actually maybe even a touch less than 2,000 square feet. My cheapest electricity bill, granted I have to run 2 production computers, a server, but not a high demand server. Like that server's less than $20 a month to run. I have a server, two production computers, and then just the air conditioning in my house. My lowest bill is during the summer, or is during the winter, because I don't even really run the heater during the winter. I'm from Denver originally. I love the cold. I only run it if it's frigid. Is like $600. That's my cheapest.
I lived in Denver. I lived in Denver for 10 years.
Great place. But the point is 600. You're getting 150 for what I think probably is not far off from what I'm doing, because it's hot and you need the AC.
Yeah.
You're getting for 150 what I'm doing for at minimum 600. My summer bill is usually around $800.
Insanity.
Wow.
I think I would hate myself if that was me, Jimmy. I just got to be honest.
Oh, no, I do hate it. I absolutely hate it. It really, really sucks. Yeah, it's horrible.
I'm stuck. Like, right, I would, I do like my neighbors, but if I sold I put my whole life savings into this house. I was married. I ended up getting divorced. She took half my money, and then I lost my job. And then I started a business, got screwed on the business deal, and running out of money here, trying to get a job, and watching the sand go down the what do you call it, the
hey,
glass
Brian,
there.
In a socialist world, if you got divorced, none of that would have happened. Your resources would have been split, but you would have had programs behind you to make sure that you were both on your feet and not in crippling debt and not having to fight through all of that. So I ask you again, why MAGA?
I heard one time Jordan Peterson said that, with socialism, everyone has the same amount of bones to gnaw on. I thought that was really funny. But, I believe in capitalism. I believe in competition and free markets. I believe that the reason I haven't gotten a job is because I'm not good enough. I don't have the necessary skills in certain areas, or I'm looking for the wrong types of jobs, or I need to change my profession.
I think that's the wrong method of thinking. I don't think anyone should feel like that they're not good enough, they're not trying hard enough. It's they're the problem. Um, Personally,
It
I'm
doesn't
sure
change
Jimmy
who
would
I am.
agree, but well, no, I'm not
But,
telling you to change who you are. I'm just saying,
no, no,
like,
no,
I
no.
think. Go ahead.
I'm saying I'm not impugning my own character. I'm not attacking myself as a person. I'm attacking the problem, and I'm
But
trying
Brian,
to
that
assess how to move forward. And if I just
Brian,
kind of threw my
most poor
hands up and
people you've
said,
ever met, were they actually poor or were they hardworking and had problems like you? Like, I had a business partner fuck me over. I had a family member get sick. I got sick. Literally, you're describing failures that happened in your life that may or may not have been your fault. And they were other people, other factors that you actually can't control. That's where poor people mostly are. If, I wonder if you know.
but I don't think I should take out of someone else's pocket.
I do, Brian.
I
I do.
believe,
Once your
well,
pocket is so full, you can never actually use what all is in your pocket. Because we're not talking about, I'm going to take your food so you are hungry. We're talking about you have created a way by devaluing labor to take food out of your hungry employees' pockets and let you just have an excess of food that you hoard elsewhere. Take those people's foods. And if they don't start giving it up, like I said before, not a direct threat from me, the people you are taking that money from, once there's no more way for them to get some food, they're going to kill you. Do you know what the world GDP is? Annual GDP. Like about how much? Okay. It's about 110 to 120 trillion dollars. That's the GDP.
Okay.
Do you know how much it would cost to give every person, and these are in US dollars, every person in the world, we'll call it a modest guaranteed income. So we're not just talking about the poor people in America, the poor people in Africa, the poor people in Asia, the poor people in everybody in the world gets at minimum a modest income.
I would guess $78,000.
No. The total amount. So GDP is 110 trillion, 120 trillion. We'll say 120. What it would cost roughly to give everybody in the world a modest income.
8 billion into, I don't know, let's say 50 trillion.
You're kind of close. It's about $40 trillion. So if we just took right now 1/3 of the GDP each year and turned it into guaranteed income for every person in the world, you would still have 2/3 of the GDP for people who want to go jerk off on their fourth yacht to go and do so and come in the ocean or whatever fucking weird shit they do out there. I think it might have to do with eating people, but I can't prove it. Legitimately, you're saying you still support capitalism and you believe it in a world where there is way more resources we need to take care of everybody, no matter, which means in our current world, we have made the choice for people to die in poverty. We have made the choice for people to die for lack of access to healthcare, of starvation. We are actively choosing for people to die, even hardworking people who don't want handouts. We are choosing for them to die.
I think we're giving them the choice to live or die.
No, we aren't.
What choice does a
starving to death in America?
I
just told you it's the whole world. Even if you were right, the whole world can be fed.
He's not. Do you know what malnutrition is?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you aware that over about 243,000 people die a year with malnutrition listed on their death certificate because starvation is not a class or a reason to list as death in America?
Well, what percentage of deaths in the year would you say are from that? I mean, my understanding is that global hunger has gone down significantly.
Bro, it's not even just global hunger, though.
No, it's actually increasing, though, now. It's increasing because of the war with Iran, because they are, a lot of fertilizer. I know. Trust me, it took me long enough, but I recognize your voice. I don't know what the conversation was about, but yeah, everyone seems to hate the way I do it. I don't care. Anyways.
if you Google Iran and you say, how do you pronounce it, it'll say it. And the guy, like the Google.
I'm pretty
Okay,
sure.
we're definitely not having a
Yeah.
debate about the pronunciation of Iran.
Yeah.
Brian.
Okay.
Goodness
All right,
me.
I'll let it go.
Fertilizer gets shipped through the Strait of Hormuz, and that's what's causing an increase in world hunger right now, because there are organizations that review that, and we're expecting it to increase by about 10 million over just a 3-month period.
Brian, what's the number one killer that is non-natural causes in America?
Ooh, good question. Non-natural causes.
Mm-hmm. Some of them get summarized as natural causes, but like if you could say one word, the number one reason people are dying. What's that?
Homicide?
No, definitely not homicide. What's causing all the heart attacks, all the liver disease, all the colon cancer? What's causing these rapid spikes, these huge?
Oh, so like sugar, bad diet?
Obesity.
Right.
Right? Is there a correlation between obesity and poverty?
What do you mean, like the poorer you are, the fatter you are?
The poorer you are, the more likely you are to be obese. That poverty rates, being impoverished, raises your odds of obesity because you have access to cheap, easy food that gives you, correct. I just told you, forget starvation. In America, you can say we've got our hunger things under whatever compared to the rest of the world. Again, before we were talking about the entire world, not just America. We are choosing for the entire world to have tremendous amounts of starvation because we have the resources to feed everybody and give everybody a modest income and a modest life at minimum. Obesity is correlated, not just correlation. There is a correlation and a causation link between poverty and obesity. And so, because those things are systemic, and just telling poor people who are fat that they're fat and they just need to go and be, when we're giving them access to things their brain become addicted to, easy, cheap access to calories that are delicious and fun, and I didn't escape it either. It is a thing that I am fighting with my whole life. Cheap, high-calorie foods. There is literally right now, even on the non-starvation end, if you are poor, you are more likely to starve, and you're even more likely to become obese, and that is going to kill you. But did you know, Brian?
How can both of those things be true? How can you be more likely to be starving and be more likely to be obese?
Brian, of the people who are starving, are they more likely to be poor or rich?
Starving, poor.
Are they more likely to be poor or middle class?
So, but that's just a guess. There could be anorexic people.
Sure. Okay. Sure. We have data on anorexic people, but it is poor. It is poor. As you mentioned, starvation in the way Ari mentioned, that's more complex than that. Malnutrition, meaning that you don't have enough income to adequately feed yourself the things that you need. But straight up starvation, people who are going to actually starve are most likely poor, and people who are going to be obese and die from obesity because they also don't have access to health care are also more likely to be poor. So yes, being poor increases your odds of dying of both starvation and obesity. And then, Brian, you're coming here to defend capitalism. If there was a company, Brian, right now that for $5 a month could cure your cancer that will kill you and will kill, let's say it just kills a lot of people, but not everybody who has it, and it's $5 a month. And we found out that they were marking it up to $1,500 a month. So only people with the financial resources to get it could have it. If they gave it to everybody, a lot of those people would be able to go back to the workforce. If you found out that that cancer drug was out there and they were doing that kind of shit, basically saying, look, you pay us and we'll cure your cancer. We're going to get rich on this thing, even though we've already recovered our investment and we are well past having made billions of dollars. Would you not get a posse together and go murder those people? Let's say figuratively. Would you not think that is such a violence on society? Violence should be done to rectify it?
I don't. I think there should be competition. I think we should break up companies that have. I think we should look.
Why aren't we then? Because what I just described to you exists, and we live in the capitalist thing. But it's not cancer; it's obesity drugs. GLP-1s cost about $5 per month to manufacture. They cost $1,000 to $1,500 per month. There are multiple companies making them. They are in competition. The government is not socializing them, is not taking them. So the companies are literally saying this drug will cure millions of people and end the #1 leading cause of death in America, which is obesity-related illness. And you can have it if you're rich. That's in your capitalist country right now with competition, with multiple companies making it. So tell me, if capitalism is superior, why does something as big as the cancer problem I just told you literally exist now?
Because the reason I would defend capitalism is because of the incentive systems behind it. And I think
defend $1,500 a month GLP-1s. You can't do one and not the other. Defend $1,500 a month GLP-1s.
I think if we lowered the barriers of entry and we actually took the makers of these drugs and looked at them as like monopolies and broke them up, I think we should do that.
Why aren't we doing that?
Constantly do that.
Why aren't we doing that? Okay, then I'll answer. If you don't know the answer, I'll tell you. Because MAGA elected a president who actually deregulated them and solidified their ability to quote unquote monopolize. They're literally going after compounding pharmacies and being so secretive with their recipes that compounding factories aren't even able to figure out a way to make a generic that is as safe. So people are actually getting sick from getting compounded GLP-1s because the recipe, or whatever you want to call it, the formula, is being hidden. Mm-hmm. And again, these are people who are getting in more and more economically dire places. So you're saying these people, hey, you guys are obese, you're poor, and you're dying of it, and it's harder for you to work because you are obese, you have sleep apnea, you have fatigue, you have low energy, and you're depressed as fuck. The drug that can help you out, all you got to do is go work hard through all of that, and you'll get it.
So I think two things need to happen. I think people need to eat better, but also we need to test out the drug and see what the effects are. Because if
we have,
let's just say
we have.
Well, it hasn't been launched.
Tested.
It just hasn't been launched.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
How long should it be tested for?
They used to give my dad something kind of silver, colloidal silver or something.
Brian, none of what you're describing is why they are putting the price up high to stop too many people from having it. On their end, the testing is done. It's ready for mass distribution. They know how it works in the system because all it is realistically doing is causing you to have present a hormone that a normal healthy body releases when you have eaten enough. But when you are obese, your brain doesn't do it anymore. In fact, they can use this hormone for other stuff. People are literally microdosing GLP-1s to break their gambling addiction and to stop smoking, because generally people who have those addictions do not have the satiation hormone releasing. They've already tested, and on their end, it is fully tested, safe, and ready for relief. Rich people are not the people the government tests drugs on if they're not sure they're safe. But rich people are the ones who have the GLP-1s.
Yeah, and to be clear, GLP-1s have been tested for over 40 years. They were first rolled out in 2005. They've been around longer than you thought. They've only been in circulation for half the time that they have been testing for, right? So they've been around for 40 years, tested for half of that, in circulation for the other half.
The GLP-1s we're talking about?
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah.
That's why I try to ask you, how long does something need to be tested for? Because the mechanism has been tested, it's been around.
Also, I'm sorry your dad went to a witch doctor, because colloidal silver has never been medically approved.
Maybe it wasn't that. It's something that turned his teeth gray. And
colloidal silver. It would have done his skin next.
And I had a drum teacher also who had the same thing. I guess it was a common thing in my area where I grew up.
Very popular with people who also believe essential oils are medicine.
But my dad's side of the family was never weird like that.
It doesn't take weird people. It takes like, hey, peppermint helps you with. Silver. What's that?
It may not have been colloidal silver. I think the folks that are like in their 70s, if they would know that there was a drug that was like taken nationally that screwed up people's teeth. I'd have to look it up. Man, let me see here.
Yeah, I don't know. Brian, we got to wrap this up. I don't know how after all of this conversation you can sit here and go, you can see poverty is getting worse, not better. You can see that income inequality.
Nice the way that popping a hydrocodone sounds nice.
Dude, it's like, not even nice. No. It's not like popping a hydrocodone. Well. It's like taking chemo. We have cancer and we will die unless we take the drug. That's what I'm saying here. Again, I don't mind if you hated socialism up until whatever many years ago, even up until this year. If you don't recognize it is the only possibility for society, unless you want to go full-on communist, I'd have that argument too. Even, what was it Elon Musk tweeted out about big checks? Hang on.
Not sure.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, but I mean, he's just Brian's just advocating for end stage capitalism, which means that only rich people live and all the poor people die. So
they have the resources. As the more time goes on, they will turn the dollars they are hoarding into actual resources that they could live for centuries on.
Do you, bro? I just want to see. I want to test something. Hold on. No, let me ask you a quick question. Do you think that it would be a good idea for the service of firefighters to be privatized? So like if you don't pay a monthly fee or pay them ahead of time, they're not going to put your house out?
No, I don't like that.
Okay. I would be a part of end stage capitalism.
Well, it doesn't even make sense because fires spread and, you know,
they tried it in Tennessee already. Yeah, it did. They put the other house on fire that it spread to because they paid the monthly service dues, but they literally let someone else's house burn down.
Okay, you know that Elon Musk used to be a socialist, right? Or used to say he was, right?
Yeah, I mean it meant something I think different. To some people.
Maybe. Generally,
I think it was more
realistically,
early 2000s or something.
Realistically, post Marx, it's always meant the same thing, but people have used it poorly, especially Fox News. I want to read this tweet from Elon Musk's past. Universal high income via checks issued by the federal government is the best way to deal with unemployment caused by AI. AI robotics will produce goods and services far in excess of the increase in the money supply, so there will be no inflation. Do you think that essentially that the reason he felt that way was because he used to be socialist and now he sees things a different, more capitalist way? Would that be your explanation?
Perhaps. I mean, when was that?
Perhaps. Tweet? Yeah, well, this was the trick. I dare say, I hope you saw it coming 2 weeks ago.
Oh, it sounds recent. I was going to say, it sounds recent.
2 weeks ago. April 16th. Yeah, that's interesting. Elon Musk, who is enabling...
Look at the income distribution, it is pretty bad. And I do think there should be a hard reset. And I think it will happen once the folks at the very, very top realize that the people at the bottom need money. They need money in their pocket to buy the goods and services that other people are
becoming
providing.
rich changes your brain to where you don't actually understand why people can't just work themselves out of I have cancer and can't go to work. It literally is like a brain change that happens. They don't have empathy for poor. They see us poor and middle class. I'm not poor anymore. I would say I'm middle class. They see us as subspecies to them. They will never do any of what you're describing until they are afraid for their life. Again, not a thing I'm advocating for, but it won't be because out of the goodness of their heart, with the exception of maybe a few. In fact, billionaires who are women tend to be much more philanthropic than billionaires who are men. We can see this after the Bezos and Bill Gates divorce, the way they use their money after, especially the Gates one, because Bill Gates doesn't have to keep investing in his company. He's out of it, basically. Yeah, man, like literally 2 weeks ago, Elon Musk is sitting there going, I've just enabled the right wing. I now have to put this out there and hope that my guys recognize that I didn't just advocate for communism or socialism. I basically advocated for coupon-based communism, where we're still going to use money, but essentially they're coupons just to keep track of how much of a share of a resource you should be getting.
Oh, that's so interesting. All right.
Yeah, we got to move on.
I
Well,
know.
it's
So, hey,
interesting.
Brian, I have a piece of
Socialism
advice
does
for
start to
you.
become more acceptable as long as there's no ability to have
No.
any jobs, then socialism makes sense.
No,
Okay.
no.
Because everything's being
You
produced
don't
and
have to take
everyone's
every
eating.
job. You don't have to take
Where's the
every job.
Jetsons?
You only have to take 10% of the. What if 90% of people can have jobs, but there simply aren't jobs for 10% of the people? No matter how much they want to work, 10% of the people who could work just can't. There's not a job for them. Socialism doesn't wait until it's 100%.
That's a bullshit defeatist attitude. That is a defeatist.
No, Brian,
attitude.
I'm not giving you I'm saying you said until there's no jobs for anybody. I'm saying that is not the line. The line is when there's no jobs for somebody. You don't have to wait until it's 100% of people can't get jobs. It's not acceptable when 10% of people can still have jobs. It's unacceptable when anyone who can work can't get a living wage, which is now.
Yep. Absolutely agreed.
But if I blame, shake my fist and blame the world, I'm not going to get where I need to go.
Technically, you've already done that. Yeah, technically, you've already done that. Hey, Brian, I just want to let you know, my friend has a piece of advice for you while you're not actively employed. While you're unemployed, stop living in red cell podcasts, okay? Red pill podcasts. That'd be great.
I mean, maybe go consume some more Elon Musk socialism, because it's literally what he proposed. Oh, did you hang up there?
I did. I didn't want him to rebut because you already said bye. I asked one question. He wouldn't let it go. And then it carried on. And then you were like, we got to move on. And he's like, I'm going to dribble. Like, I'm sorry. I don't normally do that. But he also, that whole part just reminded me, like gave me a visceral reaction to the fact that he basically had the same reaction that when I was talking to someone about starvation in the US, and the dude literally said, we're in a capitalist society. We're always going to have starvation. I was like, great, let's get rid of capitalism. He's like, oh, no, we can't do that.
Hey guys, I need more power on Threads, please. Go follow Jimmy A. Snow and start liking my shit and stuff so I can start bullying people into coming on and debating easier because I've got a higher followed or whatever. If you'd actually engage my shit more, legitimately, otherwise I don't give a fuck. Have I tried hard to build anything for myself? Things for our company and all that stuff, sure. Have I ever shown I give a fuck about my Threads presence? I put the dumbest jokes up there. Anyway, follow Jimmy A. Snow. I'm posting right now his tweet, and I'm just going to put on the thread, why is no one talking about this? Legitimately, like the more I think about it, he didn't advocate for socialism. He advocated for communism. Literally labor-free communism. He's literally saying the robots will do the labor and the humans will the country will take and divide the money up, the resources up amongst themselves. How is nobody, the guy who is one of the leading company owners in AI development and robotic development, is saying our solution to unemployment caused by AI is straight up communism?
But I mean, remember, Elon's on like the bad side because he moved away from Trump. So,
but I feel like they just pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah, that's also true to a degree. They also pretend it didn't happen.
And he keeps supporting the Republicans. Go, dude, go with your full weird shaped chest, with your full Cybertruck on its side chest. Go to Congress, go to a Republican Congress and propose that to the Congress. I will vote for Elon Musk for president if he runs on that platform, on a UBI platform.
He went so far right, he ended up left.
Communist.
Yeah, he went so far right, he ended up
the problem is
circling the spectrum.
Where I would part is he'd go, and here are the people we consider the Americans we give that money to. Except it would sound like he had peanut butter in his mouth. And then it's going to sound a lot more like nationalist socialism from yesteryear.
Oh, goodness. I mean, His family came from an apartheid state, so
There you go. John in New York. John in New York says here you're a progressive leftist. I feel like you've called in before as something else, but maybe I'm mistaken. John, what's up?
Yeah, I said I was a liberal before, but I'm a leftist. Sorry about that.
So are you a liberal or are you a leftist?
Leftist.
So you're a socialist?
Okay. Market socialist, yeah.
Cool. All right, what's your it says you're talking about a 1950s coup in Iran. I have never discussed it on this on here, so it can't be with me. I don't know if you talked about it with Ari. My perspective on it was that it was basically just imperialism.
I mean, there was a democratically elected leader who wanted to nationalize their oil, and the U.S. didn't like that. The U.K. didn't like that. Together with MI6, CIA went in and ousted the leader. Is that what you're disagreeing with?
Well, it was more so like the British who weren't who were mostly focused on the the oil nationalization. But he the way the Iranian system worked was that there was a parliamentary system where he was nominated by the parliament, but he ended up basically dissolving the parliament. He ended up dissolving the parliament. So basically what I'm trying to say is that
John, who gave the perspective that you're saying was given? You were saying you don't agree with the host's assessment of the 1950s. Whose assessment are you referring to? Because it wasn't me.
It might have been Javan, actually. I'm not sure.
I would really prefer you call it, because my familiarity with the 50s coup, I can tell you what I think the leftist perspective on it is. You're talking to somebody who is aware that basically we went and said, we're going to go and end their nationalist, reformist shit. And America just went, this ain't going to work for us, so we're going to fuck it up.
And even then, the people actually were, the people in Iran were actually against the parliamentary system, and they voted for the referendum. So that's still incorrect. That was still a democratic process, right? Where they elected the prime minister, and then they wanted the parliament to be dissolved.
Did you already talk to Javan this morning, John?
That might be.
No.
People are saying you called Javan this morning.
This morning, no. I called Javan another time, but not today. Probably another John, just because it's a generic name.
All right, John, call Javan. In fact, call Javan's show specifically.
Yeah.
I'm good. Cool. Thanks. See you, John. Sorry you waited on an hour to talk to two people who weren't even talking about it. Hey, guys, if you want to call in and debate us on stuff, we need you to go ahead and get those calls in now, because we don't have a screener for much longer. We've got the person who's... I don't know if I care.
I remember that person.
I know, yeah. Anyway, call in the next couple of minutes so we can get you in the queue, because we don't have a screener for much longer, which would mean if we run out of calls, we can't get you on the air. That phone number is on the air, 336-543-2101, 336-543-2101.
I was thinking, I'm I don't even talk about 1950s that often for what happened there, just to say that it did occur. But even then, it was a historic referendum that was voted on, so he was still wrong.
There are things I can talk about off the top of my head, and then there are things that I open up a number of spreadsheets for, where it's hey, here's all the information I have. I have curated by this wonderful trans lawyer resources that I will use with some of the trans debates. In fact, potentially I might have to bring that up with the next one. because there are things, and there are people who, it's very funny. I saw Andrew Wilson complain about this. I don't know whether this is true or not. I'm not that into, I don't watch Dean and whatever the other guy's name is, Parker, because I'm not into liberalism. But they're young. I'm just hoping they grow up one day and get a real party that actually does stuff, not just needs to be seen trying to pretend like we're eventually going to do stuff, which is what liberalism is. But anyway, complaining that apparently one of them was feeding them like articles and studies and stuff and was sending it to them. It was a crazy thing for him to complain about, because you can actively see on their podcast they do whatever that kind of, and Tim Pool, same thing, they'll have 6 people versus 1, and the other guys are on laptops feeding like, oh, but what about this study? Anyway, it's one of those things where it's like, yo, all we're talking about is fact checking. And so I don't have that memory where I can go like, yeah, I know the name of that study from that moment at that place and time or whatever. Usually I will just pull up a little spreadsheet and I'll be like, the one that's that one is that one. I'm familiar with it. And I would say, talking about the past, the Palestine, and that one's getting better because of the last year or two, but talking about Palestine, talking about Gaza, talking about Iran, talking about coups and all that kind of stuff is the kind of thing I would want spreadsheets and timelines up for. And also I don't care that much to discuss with another leftist where the differences in our assessments might be. I would want to talk about the right's response to those kinds of things. We've got some call screening right now. We're going to take a look at what those have coming in. And in fact, I might even pull up that thing I was saying, because at least one of these people for the millionth time wants to call not the trans show, but wants to bring up trans shit. So excited. I don't care, actually. And the funniest thing about the right-wing shit, it's becoming more and more obvious all the time. The reason why they want to keep resorting to the trans stuff is amongst their allies and people who refuse to learn the stuff behind the trans shit. Basically, it's just an automatic win for them, because those people don't care about nuance. And so all they hear is like, oh, yeah, a boy can't buy a girl. And so we're not ever going to debate the actual things that actually matter to people. We're going to talk about trans people, which is already a tiny percentage of people, and athletes, which is an even smaller percentage of people. And not just trans people and athletes, but specifically trans athletes, which is even a smaller group of people. And we're going to talk about that. And where a person falls on that is apparently their party alignment, despite the fact that whether you have healthcare, food, shelter, and shit, is not the trans athletes, is dependent on the way you are voting now. It's, I think, a way to flee the actual discussions, and it's become so terribly boring.
Just remember, because they just want to kiss their fish, feed their dog, mow their lawn, and drink their beer, and they can't do that as long as trans people exist.
Well, you said, drink their lawn, fuck their fish? What is it?
I just assume I was
lick
making
their
fun
dog?
of. Yeah, all of that is true.
All those things. That's all they were. All
Oh,
I really want is boom, 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 boom.
They just want to do stupid shit. That's all they got. And they act like it can't happen.
Let's see. Do. Why are we changing our affiliations, Billy? Billy from Texas. Hang on, I got to get your name tag updated here, but we're going to be talking to Billy from Texas. Billy, last time you called in as a conservative. It says now you're calling in as an independent. Does that mean you have seen some kind of light and that conservatism is garbage, or what's the deal?
I sure have, and I've actually talked with Jovan earlier today, and I'll just let you know I'm Billy Sipes from the chat. So,
what's up, Billy? Oh, yeah, excellent.
Wait,
you
what?
changed a lot then. Jesus Christ, Billy, I was ready to jump on you. You've gone from conservative to like funding a socialist nightmare country platform. Bruh, what an evolution. What is up?
Dude, I'm
fair,
I'm shook.
I was funding the socialist platform to begin with, because I think that you guys are really I think you're great. I think you have a lot of great ideas. You absolutely have helped me deconstruct from conservatism. This has been a process that started all the way back in 2016, because Donald Trump is an absolute nightmare. And I kind of already talked about that the last time that I called in. But I actually called into Jovan earlier because I had this question, and I'm curious what your take is on it. How exactly do you feel like we could move at this stage where our society is, where our political existence is, towards socialism and communism? Like, what actually is the fundamental steps to do that? Because I think that is probably the way to go. And the last time that we talked, it was mostly me worrying about the fact that our system as it exists right now is just ripe for abuse. And as we move towards socialism, I feel like really terrible people will take even more advantage of that. I understand now. I think a bit better after listening to you that's better, but I'm curious now how we actually go about doing that.
Okay. I'm going to be cautious in how I respond to it in the same way I was cautious with the last caller about saying certain things and that I'm not endorsing certain things. In fact, let me just say there's a first step that I hope can be done with purely communication-based and peaceful means. If it can't be done, I wouldn't find myself condemning, though probably not participating, in the non-peaceful means that did get it done. But I would say the first thing, DNC, and that's the crazy thing. The first thing is not targeted at the right. It's targeted at the American left. DNC, you need to let the fuckers on the stage. You need to let the fuckers on the stage to fucking debate Gavin Newsom and his merry men who are going to be up there advocating for what if we keep just trying to do a little bit toward what we're going to do. We need to have a primary like we had in 2016, but where it's fair, where the DNC hasn't picked in advance who they want to win, and we have an actual talk about, guys, stop worrying about if it's called socialism. Call it peopleism. Call it, I don't want you to get fucked in the ass, unless you want to, by billionaires.
I believe Jovan called it communityism.
He stole that from me, for the record.
Okay.
Communityism we did a call one time where a person was like, so you're saying you want, instead of like you would prefer something that's more community based, a sort of like a communityism, maybe you'd call it communityism for short. But that's good. I'm glad. I steal so much from him. It's nice to be stolen from, and my people have stolen a tremendous bunch more. Anyway, so the beginning is, Billy, we have to elect at minimum a SOCDEM in 2028. That would be the minimum. And that's a good transitional. It's going to be not as fast as we need to. There are going to be tragedies that come up, and we need to not fall for any of the like, guys, now's not the time to be political. When these tragedies happen, we need to be, here's the thing. I'm not saying bust Luigi out of prison, but there actually should have been a like, guys, we're not saying we're going to kill CEOs, but here's a giant protest and demonstration, because killing a CEO was what some people felt was the only thing left. And so this is not a protest saying Luigi's great. We were glad because obviously we wouldn't get heard. If anything, they would send the National Guard. You'd have to be pragmatic about it. But there has to be demonstrations that say, what other choice did you give us? Maybe you still call it Free Luigi or whatever else. This man that he killed our family. This man that he killed got rich implementing a system that increased denial of care. That's what this guy got rich on. And so it's going to have to be looking like shit sometimes with things like that, and then looking like we're sniffing our own farts when we're like, oh, we told you we could have fixed this long ago, this problem that we're hitting with unemployment. Unfortunately, with messaging, Donald Trump has that instinct. When somebody tries to shoot outside the ballroom or outside the hotel at an event he's at, and he needs to pitch a ballroom, his brain immediately goes, here's how I use this to get what I want. When somebody tries to shoot him and it skims his ear or whatever fucking made his ear bleed in Pennsylvania, and once they've cleared him and told him the shooter's down, the shooter's dead, his brain doesn't go to like, oh, I'm so scared, I want to get to he literally goes like, how do I pose for the photo? How do I make the video? How do I win the election off of this? That is his instinct. We need people with those instincts for socialism, and we need loud ass people coming out and going, you fucking Democrats are putting band-aids on gushing wounds, and now you can't even get the fucking band-aids. You're passing the band-aid legislation, and then the Republicans are taking over because you're fucking feckless, and the band-aid laws are still there, but they defund the fucking band-aids. I guess, had so much to get off my chest tonight. No, I'm sorry. I'm not letting anybody talk.
That's
fine. And I absolutely love that I gave you the opportunity to go off. That being said, a counterpoint, I guess, that I would ask is, I'm in Texas. I've been really organizing for James Tallarico because I think he's our best opportunity to actually get a Democrat representative from Texas into the Senate.
Yeah, and we might need him for an impeachment vote.
Absolutely. But he's also not the most progressive. But do you think that is still
and he's kind of a dick about it.
Meaningful? No,
I'm campaigning for Tallarico too, and you'll see me get more vocal for him in the next few months as we get closer. And James Tallarico, I would shake his hand and go, I helped get you more votes. Go fuck yourself, you scumbag. That's what I would say. If I got to meet him, I would love him to come on the channel so I could say it. Go vote for this fucking piece of shit. Because James Tallarico, the thing that annoys me the absolute fucking most, God damn it, I'm going to rant again. Okay, I'm going to do it calmly. James Tallarico, I have said to everybody, if you're Medicare for all and your opponent isn't, you're getting my endorsement. That is why Jasmine Crockett got my endorsement for the primary. Now that James has won, I'll go for James, but I wasn't going to change that. Even though I thought James had a better chance of winning, I wasn't going to go, this time because she's a black woman, I'm going to go ahead and not give her the endorsement I promised everybody else. Not that my endorsement had that much strength there, but here's the damn problem with Tallarico. Besides being a capitalist and all that other shit, when it comes to specifically Medicare for all, he's decided to start talking about this Medicare for y'all, which he's trying to make sound like is Medicare for all. It isn't. Not. It's just the public option. And if you leave the public option in place, you get what's happening right now across Europe, where the private sector is growing and growing, and it is making their national systems worse. Still better than ours for the average person, but worse. You have to remove 100% of the incentive for companies to make the government cover less, to take doctors away from the actual system. You have to have entire overhaul, takeover, hostily, eat people if you must. Just kidding, figuratively. I'm winked. You couldn't hear it, Billy. You cannot Medicare for y'all, and calling it Medicare for y'all is clearly trying to confuse people. It is clearly trying to, if in a quick glance, I know this happened because people I know who are smart and good at assessing. I was the one who told Matt about it. Matt was like, I like James, they seem good on these things. And I literally told him, about his Medicare for y'all shit. And I said, so that's what he did, and I think that's scumbag shit. And he went, yep, that is scumbag shit. He's still going to vote for him. He's still going to elect him. But even somebody who is as involved as Matt is, it missed his radar because he's clearly trying to use what are scumbag tactics to rebrand the public option as Medicare for y'all. And I think that is so fucking gross.
I appreciate those thoughts, and I'm going to have to say something that might be a little bit misandrous here, but Aria, I want to hear your thoughts on this too. And that's nothing against you, Jimmy. I love your thoughts.
No, Jimmy knows.
I want to hear what
Jimmy
Aria
knows.
has to say.
On which part?
Honestly, both. On both implementing socialism and communism, and if it's the same as Jimmy, that's perfectly fine. And then also, because this is one of the things I've actually had arguments with my progressive friends who have said, hey, you shouldn't be doing so much for James Tallarico. And I'm like, listen, it's a duopoly. This is the person we got. This is the person who is going to be either the Democratic candidate, or we have Cornyn or freaking Paxton, I think. I don't know, whatever. They're disgusting human beings. I don't even countenance them.
Should I start a PAC for James Tallarico called "Elect This Piece of Shit"?
That would be kind of funny.
Hilarious.
What would the acronym be for that? Elect this
POS. ETPOS.
ET.
I've had friends who are like,
Pack.
hey, James Tallarico's not progressive enough. You shouldn't be
He's
supporting
not.
him. And I'm like, look, I understand that he's not progressive enough, but at this point, we literally are only having two options, and that's the option. And I don't know. At this point, I need to throw my support behind it. It's why I call myself an independent. I'm not a Democrat. I can't with the Democrats because at this point they're not doing enough. But I'm certainly no longer a Republican or a conservative.
Shame them with passive aggressivism.
And I think you're at this point, you're politically homeless. It could be the word that you say, right? Or the phrase that you use.
Yeah.
But here, so my opinion is, and I've had a slight disagreement with Javon on this. I don't see, and sorry for all my people that are communists, I don't see communism as a reality anytime soon. Because the way that communism looks to me is that it has to be on a global stage for it to be implemented correctly, whereas socialism, it can be done in pieces. It does require globalism at the end of the day to agree and move to that same kind of market. I think communism is a better structure, not communism, sorry. Socialism is a better structure than communism in the way that I see it. Sorry to all my commie friends. I love you guys still. You guys may eventually convince me. I don't know. But I see socialism as possible.
I think he would say, like, he doesn't even disagree with that. What would be after, I hope this is what he would represent, what we would have after is a thing that people from other states would call a state, but internally it wouldn't be and wouldn't operate as a state. But I told him the same thing. You can't have statelessness surrounded by states, just like gun-free zones don't work surrounded by gun zones. Like we already know that that is the case. So
exactly.
That's...
And so when it comes then to your second question about Tallarico, is if you have super progressive friends that are against it, my thought process on this is the main reason why someone like myself votes for a Democrat over the Republican is I'm voting for the harm reductive aspect of it. Ken Paxton is absolute shit. And I'm going to put this out there. If there's any Republican women listening to me right now, fuck you and the womb you came out of. If you vote for Ken Paxton, who fucking hates women, like that's clear. Cornyn's a piece of shit too, but I know more worse things about Ken Paxton than Cornyn, right? But you're voting for harm reduction. That's why you are campaigning. That's why I don't think there's anything wrong with somebody that campaigns for the person that's representing the Democratic primary. Because unfortunately, right now, as long as we always have Citizens United, the FEC rules that are in place, the debate rules that are in place, we're never going to see a viable independent candidate. And those are the rules that I would want to change to just to see something move along in this country so we can have a viable third party candidate. Right now, that's not the case. So you vote for the Democratic Party as a harm reductive tactic.
Billy, this is what you say next time they say that. That's cool, man. I just don't feel like I have the privilege or commodity to not care about trans and queer people and black people and stuff, but you do you.
That's a good way to do it.
Passive aggressivism.
I really like that. And it kind of, so this was one of the things that harkened back to when I started to kind of deconstruct from conservatism. Because I had my own issues with the Democratic Party, and I watched a video with Sam Cedar, and I think he was debating Tim Pool or whoever, somebody, I can't remember. But basically, Tim Pool was like, you know what, this is the utilitarian argument, and this is what most villains in Marvel Universe movies make.
And Sam went,
and
I
Sam
don't
Cedar
care.
was like, haven't watched them. I don't care. Yeah. And I was just thinking about that. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Harm reduction. I feel like, yes, I want the best, but I don't want.
Not a good representation of Thanos. Thanos was the utilitarian argument for genocide. Sam's is the utilitarian argument for the redistribution of wealth, where the wealthy will still be wealthy because there's no realistic way to take it away. And I think Sam isn't all the way full on to, I don't think he's as far left, but Sam's a good boy. Sam's a good guy.
I like listening to Sam. He's got an interesting brain.
I like Sam Cedar. I really liked Michael Brooks. Sad that he passed so young.
Do you super chat to Sam Cedar ever?
Great. I have in the past.
Does
yeah.
he usually read them? The ones you send?
No.
Okay. I was going to say,
but
if
that's
you're getting
okay.
them read,
I don't really do it for reading.
if you were getting him read, I was going to say, start bullying him to come on this channel. I think it'd be fun. Actually, and here's the thing. I do want him, but I kind of want Emma more.
I love Emma.
I would
Yeah.
love
Okay, sorry.
to- I
Thank
would
you for
love
that
to
one.
have Emma on the line. No, that would be amazing because
I
she
would
is
get-
also
I would-
amazing. And
Guys, I will
every
give
time I see
Emma
her on
all of my
CNN
hosting
talking
spots.
with one of these people.
If you
Yeah.
guys convince
Every
Emma to
time
come
I
work
see
at the
her on
line,
CNN.
she can have every slot I do. Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. She can have all of them. That's how much I like Emma.
I'm not gonna do that if it takes her off of the Majority Report.
All right. Then I'll come back. I'll come back. But
no, do it, please. Like, are you kidding me? I would fangirl for like 10 minutes. What?
give her half the spots. Well, we'll do that beforehand because that's awkward
she's
for
good.
everybody.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and let you
Yeah,
guys
thanks.
go because I know
Cool.
that this is not a super fun or interesting conversation for a lot of people. They like to see a dunk on folks. I like to, at least.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
coming up.
seeing
Don't
it.
worry.
Love you guys. The
Thanks,
only
Billy.
thing that I want to say is Jovan agreed earlier that he is now going to start doing a Discord chat where it's just a general conversation about stuff. And I would like to A, shout that out, and B, ask that you join it because I think that would be really interesting and fun.
We have a Discord project coming, and we're partnering with a company, an organization, I should say, to do it. I think we're still figuring out how that would all work. That will be our Discord representation because Discords are really hard to pull off in a way that don't at some point cause a giant problem. I feel like every Discord at some point has either groypers or pedophiles show up, sometimes one and the same. And so we have a Discord strategy, but yeah, obviously whatever Jovan's doing, y'all do whatever Jovan's doing, and when his eventually gets closed because the pedophiles were too fucking annoying, he can come to the new one. Dude, Discord's terrible.
Yeah, Discord, like, as somebody who, when I first got started on YouTube, they tried to nuke my server. Yeah, fuck these children.
And we use Discord to keep the company, like our company chat is in Discord. So like, we use it. It's just so did the pedophiles. Anyway, thank you, Billy. It's been nice.
All right. Thank you both. Really appreciate talking to you. Really appreciate all that you do. Gonna keep continuing to support the channel, and I will be at the fundraiser.
Cool. We'll see you, Billy.
All right.
I can't believe how many people are asking who Emma is. Oh, that did not copy. That's annoying. No, I love her voice. Okay, sorry. That was me.
I think she's great. She's
super smart. I could listen to her all day.
It was very strange seeing her on CNN and the way they like we talk about the Fox News look, but CNN has one too. And I was like, I would like you to go back to it's less gussied up for, I don't like the way, if anything, I would argue CNN kind of is doing the same kind of sexist shit they do in the way they present the women anchors. I think it actually has a low-key kind of sexist system to it. And I wish they wouldn't do it to her. I'd like her to appear the way she appears on. I don't know. I don't think I'm explaining myself well. It felt like, the Fox News look, like if you go on Fox News, they're going to plump your hair up. They're going to do all this stuff. They're going to make you wear a skirt and all that stuff. It wasn't as bad as the Fox News look, but it was very off-putting. I was just like, man, let her be a fucking human, you weirdos.
I just I don't understand because I get the comments a lot all the times, like, you would do better, so much better if you wore makeup. It's like, why?
Don't add Dean or Parker. I would, if Dean or Parker are on this channel, it's to debate. It's to debate us. They're liberals. I don't fuck with that shit.
They also okay, don't hate me, people, because there's plenty of Dean and Parker lovers out there, right? But to be clear, Dean has said multiple times, and they're more one-off comments, so you have to scour his videos to find it, that if enough leftists insulted him, he would go back to the right.
I think it was, I don't know. I don't know if that's the best faith reading of, I think I know what you're talking about. I've seen people repeat it that way, and I think it's been picked up. I think what he was saying is, I don't know about the insulting one. I remember him talking about with the violence and the Charlie Kirk thing, that if this is where the left is going, he'll be siding with the right. And I think he was saying specific to the issue. I hope he was saying specific to the issue, not that he would become a Republican. But
thank you,
know.
Tanner. Yeah, Tanner.
I always try to be as
one of my
good faith as I
friends
can.
is saying that too. You're saying that about people mocking Kirk. Okay.
Yeah, that he basically will be on the. But that's also still dumb.
Correction.
For the record, super duper dumb. All right, this might be a slur yeller because this is a person calling in with a fake Google Voice number, but we'll see what happens. Xavier in New York. Why are you calling from a VoIP instead of calling from your phone line?
Hey, good evening. How you doing?
I'm fine. How you doing?
How you
I'm
doing?
doing good.
Why are you calling in from a VoIP instead of your phone line?
Your phone line's of Google Voice too.
No, it is
No,
not
it's
a
not.
Google
Why
Voice.
can't I-
Mine is not a Google Voice. It just seems like maybe you're calling in from the Google Voice because you're planning on saying some whack stuff, and you don't want the risk of that coming back on you, even though we don't even dox people around these parts.
Well, how would you judge that without even talking to me? Not even for 5 seconds, 10 seconds.
I've just been doing this a while, but let's see how it goes,
You're
Xavier.
very
Xavier,
disrespectful.
very
You're very
disrespectful.
disrespectful
So
already.
very disrespectful, Xavier.
Yeah.
How's that make you feel?
You're already judging without even looking at me. It's
That's
like the
true.
trans
That's
people.
true. That's true.
Yeah,
I gotta
you
tell you,
just look at
Xavier. Hey,
a
Xavier.
person,
Xavier.
you
Xavier.
say
Xavier.
he's a
Xavier.
man,
Hey,
he's a
Xavier.
woman,
Xavier.
you're
Xavier.
already
Xavier.
judging.
Hey, Xavier, I got to tell you, I'm judging you before looking at you, and I'm planning on not looking at you once on this phone call because that's how telephones work, my friend.
Why would he do that?
How would I look at you, Xavier?
Why you mean like that?
Hey,
What's
Xavier.
your problem? Like
Xavier,
I
how do I look at you?
Yet, and you're already
Xavier, how do I look at you on the phone?
When you're not on FaceTime.
That's what you just mentioned.
You're very sensitive.
No, you mentioned
Anyway,
that.
you were saying things about trans people, so I do want to bring this up. I got to change your thing, though. What are your pronouns, Xavier?
There's no pronouns. It's man or woman.
No, there's definitely pronouns.
That's a fantasy.
Hey, Xavier, I don't care whether you believe there are no genders besides man or woman. Men and women have pronouns. Men have he, him, and women have she, her. So even if you don't believe in other pronouns, which one are you? Okay, great. Which one are you? I don't care whether that's what you believe. I already can tell you don't understand the scientific theory behind. All right, so great. You're a man. Would you like to be referred to as he, him, or she, her? What are your pronouns?
I'm a man from God, he.
Oh, that's cool. He. Finally, we get the answer. Man from God, he. Now, I'm going to need you to prove your God exists. Since you said you're a man from God, I don't believe he exists. Before I accept that you're a man from God.
You don't believe in God? You don't believe in Jesus Christ?
Correct.
Why not?
No.
I'm fine with that. There's no. Sure. Why not? There's no. The same reason I don't believe Timmy the Fart Fairy exists. There's not good enough evidence to believe that Timmy the Fart Fairy exists. You know what I'm saying? So if you would present the evidence that God exists, that Jesus exists,
and you know what, God saved you in a couple of times in your life that you were about to die, and you said,
no, technically you're still even wrong. That was Jesus. To be clear, that you're still even wrong. That was Jesus.
And Xavier, just so you know,
you believe in Jesus, ma'am?
No, I didn't say. I'm correcting you on your ignorance.
You believe in Jesus?
No, I'm just saying you were wrong.
Xavier, I got to tell you this.
But you talked about Jesus.
Xavier. Hey, Xavier, this was a very silly point for you to make because I actually used to believe in God and I stopped. And by the way, I used to believe in God.
Why?
And I've already faced those things where I thought I was going to lose my life. I thought I was going to die. And you know what I didn't do? Turn to God, because there was no God to turn to. There was no reason, the same reason where if you're in trouble, you're not going to turn to Santa because there's not a good reason to believe Santa's going to save you, buddy boy.
Well, why are you still alive? It's God.
Nah.
Nah, man, because we eat food. I don't.
Prove it. Prove it. Prove God saved me. That's all you got to do. Just prove it was God.
No, I want to hear about the experience that you just said. Like you said that you were a point about to die. Why are you still alive? It's because of
doctors.
God, Jesus.
No, doctors.
He's not going to let you die.
Nah, doctors.
He's not going to let you die. Oh, a doctor.
Xavier, why wouldn't he let me die? I have literally Xavier. Hey, Xavier. I have led thousands of people away from this Jesus Christ. I have led thousands away now from God. There are less believers in God because I got to them. Do you know what I'm saying? I capiche. Okay, I got to these people, Xavier, and they don't believe in the God anymore. And so what I'm asking you is, why would that God not let me die? He lets children die every day, but I'm here.
So the devil's working hard. But you know what?
So the devil saved my life.
Because
the devil
wait. So he's saying
your character.
Is he saying that the devil is taking the children, but God can't save them?
No, because you know what? The devil's working hard, and you know what? We are in a war.
We are in a war. My guy,
right now. Spiritually, we are in a war,
Xavier,
and we've been in the war since day one. And you know what? And you know what? And you know what?
War since day one.
I know a thing or two. You know what?
Both of you.
Yeah.
Both of you right now.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, God is still keeping you alive. You know why? Because you guys have strong voices. You guys have strong souls. And you guys can make a difference in the people's lives.
Hey, Xavier. You know what?
He's still giving you a chance.
Hey, Xavier, prove it.
Go ahead.
Prove it.
You're still alive, right? You were supposed
I'm still alive. Yeah,
because
I'm still alive.
Doctors, because of food, because of water.
You were supposed to die a couple of times.
Doctors saved my life. I got health issues. I had them when I was a believer in God. I have them after I was a believer in God.
Jesus Christ and God. That's the one.
No.
You ain't got no proof of that.
No, I actually know. I actually know my primary doctors did not believe in God. In the most recent case, I don't know about when I was younger because I asked them. I was in the hospital for a long time. We talked. We got to know each other. By the way, I wear these atheist ass shirts all over the place, and when I go to the doctor's office, almost every time, one of the nurses or the doctors, they're like, "Hell yeah, dude."
And when you go to the hospital, you don't see the Bible there. You don't see the cross over there.
I'm sorry.
Go to the emergency room,
Xavier, I didn't ask you to prove that Christians exist. You didn't get anything, Xavier. I didn't ask you to prove Christians exist. I go to certain hotels and there's Book of Mormons in the drawer. That's at the fucking Marriott, capiche? Yeah, I go there. I just want to get a nap and maybe some gabagool, but there's a Book of Mormon, capiche, okay? In the drawer, okay? So listen, that doesn't mean the Mormonism is true. That means Mormons exist, all right? I know Christians exist, okay? I know Christians exist. I know you believe in Christ. I didn't ask you to prove Christians exist. I didn't ask you to prove the Bible exists and lots of people believe in it. I asked you to prove that God exists. Prove that the Bible is true.
You know when God exists? When one of your loved ones die. It could be your mother, your father.
Nah, that's already happened. The people I loved the most,
your child.
The people I loved the most in the world. Until recently, there's now a person I love more than anybody.
Secretly, and you guys won't tell nobody.
No, I won't.
Why?
Prove it. Xavier, prove it.
Why would you guys? Why do you guys pray secretly?
Xavier, can you prove that yet?
When a child dies.
What are you doing?
Xavier, I'm just going to pause you real quick because now you're just lying. You're saying we pray secretly. I don't. So if you're going to keep saying it, I don't want to hear no more about you do this, you do that. I want to hear your fucking proof.
Wait. Is Xavier saying that he's Jesus in the walls? He's watching us?
Only thing I ever did to Jesus was give him a night he couldn't forget. You know what I'm saying? I broke in those handholds.
I'm just saying. It sounds like I can't do it. I'm so sorry.
Xavier, you're saying I'm praying in secret. You either got to prove that, or Xavier, you're saying I believe that God exists. You got to prove that. Okay, Xavier, we're bringing you back on. Prove to me one of those things is true.
You do it.
No, I don't.
Who was the last person that died?
Xavier, the last person that died, my sister.
I don't see how somebody dying proves that God exists.
I did not pray for my oldest sister when she died.
No, you pray. You pray.
No, I didn't.
Don't talk about anything else.
Xavier, I'm going to mute you again. I didn't. So if you're saying I did, you need to offer the proof that I did and I'm lying. I never prayed once for my sister when she died because I don't think it would do anything. That's why you're not writing fucking letters to Santa anymore. Maybe you do it for your kids, but you know it's a fucking joke. You know it's not for real. Not that Xavier, I think anybody made it with you. Xavier, what I'm trying to ask you. Xavier, would you prove it to me? Prove it to me if you're going to keep saying that I prayed. You got to prove it, or others say I don't have proof. I just believe it because I already know that. I already know you don't have proof because I know I never did it. I know you're lying if you're claiming to know I did. Xavier.
Sounds like Xavier's just doing blasphemy all over the place. He still doesn't know that it wasn't God who died for your sins. According to your Bible, it was Jesus. I can't keep up the accent, guys. The Southern keeps coming out, and I just can't
I've
stop
changed my
it.
accent like 9 times. Why?
You've done
why
so
try?
much better than me. Like I'm over here and I'm like trying, and then towards the end, it's like, and the Southern comes out. It just.
I went from Tony Soprano to Adam Sandler like 19 times. Xavier, what is your proof? What is your proof that I prayed?
No. Let me answer.
Xavier,
let me answer
no,
her
no,
question.
no, Xavier. Xavier, you got to stay on the topic. What is your proof that I prayed when I told you I didn't pray?
I was from the South. I just said that a Southern accent comes out. That doesn't mean I'm from the South.
I think you did pray. I really think that you did pray for your sister.
Okay, but I didn't.
How are you going to prove that if you're not Jesus?
You don't want to embarrass yourself in front of your coworkers. That's the thing.
Xavier, in front of my coworkers, my subordinates. I don't have coworkers. I have subordinates.
You have employees. But you have employees.
Xavier, all you're doing is asserting without evidence. So you don't have proof I actually prayed. I didn't pray. And if you're telling me that's the proof, then you failed to me because I know I haven't prayed. So if that's the proof, I know it's not true. Your proof has failed. So now prove God exists, because I'm telling you, there is no good reason. There's no good reason. Now, I can't really do Christopher Walken to believe
you're still alive. That's the reason.
That's not fact. That is not proof God exists.
That is a fact.
No, it isn't.
I'm alive because I eat. I'm alive because I eat food, drink water, and have normal bodily functions.
Xavier, Xavier, you don't know what proof means. You're literally saying proof is
the earth.
Bruh, shut your fucking mouth. Shut your fucking mouth, mister. You're not engaging in good faith. Xavier.
His accent just wants me to.
We gotta get the gabagool. That's more. Wait, what do we do with the manicata? Xavier.
What are you doing here? I'm walking over here.
Xavier, I'm walking on sunshine over here, Xavier. All right, Xavier.
We're trying to.
Saying that I'm still alive is proof of God isn't proof of shit. Medicine works. Do you not think medicine works? Medicine works, Xavier. Medicine works. I'm still alive because, by the way, Xavier, if I were to stop my current pursuit of medical freedom, I don't know what to call it. If I were to stop treating myself now, I would die in some amount of time. A year ago, it would have been much faster. Now it would take a little bit of time. Literally, all I'd have to do is stop trying and I would die. I'm trying to stay alive. That's why I'm still alive, because I'm still fucking sick. So, Xavier, I don't need, you're still alive. That's proof of God. Look at the trees. Look at the motherfucking trees. What I need is a fact. I need fucking facts that only point to that God exists. Not that point to that fucking medication exists, Agapish. Not that point to the fucking doctors exist, Agapish. Not that point to the gabagool.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing. Okay. Xavier, I'm going to bring you back in. Xavier, I'm going to bring you back in. And what I want to hear from you, I want to hear from you that the facts that prove God exists.
God bless you when somebody sneezes?
No, thank you.
Sometimes.
Do you?
Yeah, sometimes.
Say no, thank you.
Right? Because you believe in it. There is.
Yeah, Xavier, sometimes I tell people I got a 14-inch cock.
You know that's a big lie.
Hey, Xavier, what's a colloquialism?
Listen.
What's a colloquialism? No, I'm not deflecting. I'm engaging. This is a literal. No. Xavier, I gotta mute you again. This isn't a deflection. You said. Oh, by the way, I actually don't say God bless you specifically. I'd never say God bless you. However, I do say, oh my God, often when I'm coming, often when I'm using that 14-inch cock. It's 14 something, unfortunately, not inches. Millimeters! Anyway, about 14 dimes stacked. It's a problem. In some countries, it's not considered a serious medical condition. I stole that from a show. Anyway, Xavier. I'm engaging you directly about the I say, oh my God. I say, God damn it. I say, Jesus fucking Christ, but I don't think Jesus ever fucked a Christ. He might have fucked a Christ. I don't know, but I don't think Jesus ever fucked a Christ.
Xavier is doing this on the day of my daughter's wedding.
On the day of my daughter's wedding, I ask of you, what is a colloquialism?
You know, you guys are all gonna pay for mocking him.
No, I'm not. Hey, Xavier, Xavier. Xavier, can I admit something?
Like, for real,
Xavier, can I admit something? Can I confess? I actually do believe in Jesus.
Go ahead.
Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because I fucked his face and I came in his beard. This is what happens when you fucking ridiculous Christians think you can threaten me into belief. I give a fuck about your threats. You're gonna pay for mocking him one day. I give a fuck even if I do, because some fucking ridiculous Christian like your ass decides you're gonna make me pay. It won't be God doing it. I don't give a fuck, and you're not gonna make me afraid into believing. You've offered zero fucking proof that your God exists. You've offered zero proof of Jesus. I have the proof of Jesus. I put my 14-inch cock right in the holes in his hands. We lubed it up first with his blood. He said, this is my blood, partake. And I came in his beard. It is still there. If you meet Jesus today, you'll see a crusty little line like it's extending the mustache down the right side. And that's from a yours truly, capiche. I fucked your God in his handholes.
This is not the first time I've heard this.
Well, it's not the first time they tried to threaten me into believing. Fuck off with your fucking face and your fucking stupid threats.
Also, Xavier, to be clear, Xavier, hold on. I'm talking here. Can you stop and listen?
When something bad happens to you too,
here. Can you stop and listen?
I'm talking too, though. I talk to you. I talk first.
No, I muted you, bitch. Go ahead, Ari.
I was trying to fix my camera real quick because it decided to, freeze on me in the middle of that. Like, Anyways.
I'm banging Jesus in the handhold.
What was I going to say? See, he made me forget because he wouldn't stop interrupting me. And then my brain went, oh no, camera frozen.
Banging Jesus in
if you're,
the handhold.
Like, to be clear, Xavier, if you truly believe in God, you would know that, like, God is all forgiving as long as you haven't violated one of the 10 commandments. And we're mocking your faith. Well, at least I am. I'm mocking your faith, not necessarily God himself. So,
Xavier, which one of the 10 commandments am I violating when I tickle Jesus's prostate?
All of them. The 10 commandments.
Really? Honor? Wait. So honor whenever I tickle Jesus's prostate, which I absolutely did. I'm not honoring my father and mother.
Well,
am I taking no other gods as idols?
That's what the trans people do. They
what if I do it on a Friday? What if I do it on a Friday? Am I still keeping the Sabbath day holy? I wrapped my cock in the rainbow flag and I shoved it in your Savior's ass, and he actually has a prolapsed anus now. He's already got the holes in his hands. He's got the hole in his. I fucked that rib hole too, by the way, guys. I fucked that rib hole. I went in deep. I touched a lung on that fucking guy. I fucked his fucking rib pussy. The Russie. I fucked the Russie. Anyway, Xavier, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you want to see the video of me fucking your Savior in the ass until his ass prolapsed? Scale of 1 to 10. Go ahead.
You enjoy that shit.
I did.
I hope you enjoy that fucking raping that you're gonna get when you go to hell.
Oh, wait, your God loves me so much he's going to get me raped for making jokes? What a loving God. My God. Wait, I just did a rendition of one of your God songs. My God is a loving God, he rapes. My guy, you've offered no proof. You've only offered fucking threats.
It's very, it seems like, you're not very in tune with your God, and it's not very Christian-like of you.
Oh no, is God gonna let me get raped because I made some jokes about me putting it in his butthole? Hey, Xavier, last question. If you try to answer any other question, I will not let you continue on. If God hates gay sex so much, why did he put our G-spots in our buttholes?
Everybody's gonna suffer. You guys.
Okay.
He didn't answer, which is unsurprising.
I told him when I make threats about muting, I mean it. I fucking mean it. All right. We're going to talk to Scotty. Scotty doesn't know that Fiona and me do it in my van every Sunday. I hope you are not dating someone named Fiona. That was just the song that popped in my head. Scotty, you are calling from Tennessee, and you're the only 10 I can't see. We're on a fucking phone. What's up, Scotty?
Hey, how's it going, y'all?
Oh, it's going. Hope you're not Christian. You might be pretty offended right now.
Oh, man, I am, but that's between, this is my personal belief, that's just between you and God, man. I ain't really gonna get upset about it.
I was only talking about Xavier's Jesus. Your Jesus and I haven't met yet.
I hear you.
All right, what's the point you want to make?
Well, so I guess this may be not worth y'all's time, but I was just curious about, from what I've picked up, y'all may probably be like on socialist, communist side of things, and
more socialist, the two of us. But Javon comes on here, and he's communist.
Okay. Well, I have friends that are kind of aligned with y'all politically. I was just curious on, and I may not have the numbers right. I may disagree with all this what I'm about to say, but healthcare for all. I'm not really against. Well, I am, I guess, against the government doing it, and the simple reason I would be against it. I'm a small government kind of guy.
So you're anti-Trump at least, right? Because Donald Trump has the largest government and the most fiscal spending of any president of all time.
I did vote for him, but I'm bamboozled. I kind of, y'all said it earlier.
You regret it.
I feel like we're. Well, I just feel like there's no political side. I don't believe in the two political sides.
There is.
I don't think they have our best interest.
Scotty, do you work hard?
For us. I go to work. I ain't gonna say I work hard.
If you were at a job that cared about you and you cared about, and you were being paid a good wage and you were incentivized to be there, and it was a job that wasn't a mindless task that made somebody else rich, but actually you had a piece of it, say for working there, you even owned a piece of the company. So if the company did better, you did better. Do you feel like you would work harder and you'd want to be at work because your life would be getting better?
I mean, we have profit sharing where I work at now. So our bonus is tied to the profit that our plant makes. So, I guess we kind of have that. So, yeah, I guess I do hope for the best in our
profit sharing schemes generally are different. So we have a profit sharing scheme that is based on literally profit, as in whatever the profit is, you get this percentage based on the labor you get in. That's the scheme we do here. Profit sharing schemes for most big corporations are just, these are bonuses that are still a tiny fraction. You're getting that bonus, and with that bonus, you might be able to put a down payment on a Toyota Corolla, and my portion of what you increased will buy me a fucking Lambo. So it really depends on where you are. Here's the whole point, Scotty. If you say there's not representation for you amongst the Republican and the Democrats, absolutely not. But if you're a person who cares about other people, you care about your family, you care about yourself, you care about being able to contribute what you can contribute according to your ability to contribute, you understand that people who literally can't contribute because of illness or they're raising families or whatever else shouldn't have the same level of expectation. There is representation for you. You can go to your local Democratic Socialists of America group and join up, or you can join other socialist groups. And these movements are growing and they care about you. Socialism is peopleism. Capitalism is moneyism. If you think money is the most important thing over people, be a capitalist. If you think that people are more important than money, be a peopleist, aka a socialist. That's why the word social is there. Socialism means social goodism, if you like. Social means people, capital means money. Which one do you think is better? And that will tell you how you should align.
I feel you. Yeah, no, I feel you. I just, I don't want this to come off as rude. Can I ask my question that I was wanting to present?
Yeah.
My bad. I didn't want that to come off as rude.
No, go for it. Just go.
I was just kind of wondering, like, if somebody, like I said, who's not very big on government and all that, how would you convince somebody to vote for socialistic ideas whenever we see how the government has handled our our Social Security? Like, I seen somewhere, and I'm pretty sure y'all may disagree on this, but if we were allowed to have our Social Security tax and we're to invest it in ourselves into like the stock market, our return would be significantly more than what Social Security gives us.
And the first people who get in will love that, and they will get the benefit of that, much like people in generations before us got to take advantage of tax credits and higher wages and a minimum wage that was a cost of living wage. And then Republicans will get in and deregulate more and more and allow private businesses to chip away at it more and more. Thus, that decades later, by the time it would be you in this case get access to it, you aren't even getting a bit of a piece of that shit. So, Scotty,
you're saying
your question is why would we trust the government with healthcare when they fumbled Social Security? I wouldn't trust this government with fucking shit. I would reform the fucking government. No other democracy does our government, a basically two-party Congress and Senate. Why both? Why do we have two in the first fucking place? A House and a Senate, and then a president. Why does every other country do a parliamentary system? And why does every other country have universal health care, meaning that their middle class and their poor people have way better health outcomes? In America, healthcare is only the best if you are rich. That is the only people that healthcare is the best for. Everywhere else in the world, if you are poor or you are middle class, your healthcare outcomes are better if you live in one of these places where, quote unquote, the government was the provider of your healthcare. If you actually have single payer, if you actually have nationalized healthcare, if you actually have Medicare for all. So the reason why I would quote unquote trust it in general, even if we couldn't get to the reform government first, is the models already exist and we already know they work better than our current system.
Yeah. Then we spend the most out of every country on healthcare as individuals without even the government paying for it now.
If healthcare is a commodity, then companies that deliver healthcare are incentivized to each year give you less healthcare or increase prices or both. They can either increase profits by giving you less for the amount of money you're paying or by asking you to pay more. And right now, they're literally doing both. My premiums went up $100 this year. It's fucking crazy. 20% for a single year. I haven't even had a rent hike that high in my life.
Yeah. Okay. So just kind of understand what you're saying. You would say that like the layouts are already there from other countries for us to take in, and we just copy what other countries do. But your end goal or your ideal situation was to change the government in general.
Yeah, have a representative democratic socialist
am I understanding that?
Government that doesn't have a presidency, possibly a parliamentary system. There may be a better system than that, than parliamentary if you are going to go full socialism. But just to get started, the presidential system in America is fucking stupid, and there's a reason why it is not coveted by other countries. They're like, literally, Scotty, you wake up in a country in Tennessee where tomorrow your vote doesn't count because it is gerrymandered to fucking hell. Oof. We live in a country where elected officials pick their voters. Voters do not pick their elected officials. That's not fucking democracy. And so, no, I don't trust that fucking government. The government who would give us universal health care, who would make gerrymandering illegal, who would make representation fair. So if you have a, let's say, 50-50 left right distribution of population. Their representatives are also 50-50, would make lobbying illegal, would make it illegal for you to get a private job from a company that has a vested interest. So the NRA doesn't have the ability to go, even though 95% of Americans support this, less than 10% of the Congress is actually trying to pass this. You literally make that shit impossible. And then if they still violate it, you know, you do that thing that you do to governments that are tyrannical to their people and betray them. I can't remember what it's called. It's that one thing.
You know,
it's that one thing.
This revolution?
Sure.
Why
not?
Just out of curiosity, this may be like a dumb question for y'all because I'm not a very political guy anymore. Isn't Parliament like a king and queen and all that? Like,
no,
you don't get
prime
to vote on
minister.
those.
Parliaments have prime ministers.
Yeah.
Sometimes they also have presidents, by the way. Sometimes you have a system with both. I think Canada's that way. Does Canada have a president and a prime minister? Maybe it's France.
Yeah, no,
France.
it's France that has the president with the parliamentary system. So imagine like our Congress as one body instead of broken into two parts, and they just do more. I don't know. They just do
you'd
more.
abolish the Senate. We don't need a Senate. That's fucking crazy. A thing where California, I believe it adds up to like 12 states. The 12 least populated states add up to a total population less than California, and it might even be more than 12. In the Senate, those 12 states get 24 senators to represent the same number of people that only 2 senators represent for the state of California. That's fucking insane and stupid.
But
France has a president and a prime minister. India has a president and prime minister. Ireland, Portugal, Finland apparently all have both. You have a head of state versus a head of government.
I hear what you're saying on that 12, but I'm not trying to play devil's advocate. I'm just definitely I'm more of a curious kind of guy. I'm like hearing people's thoughts, and I feel like conversation is the best way for us all. You know, is it fair to label that 24 people represent the 12 states that have less than the population of California, because they still get the same representation per state, though, right? And so,
states aren't things. States aren't things.
Right?
States aren't things. States don't have rights. States are not actual humans. They don't have autonomy. They can't think. States are a collection of people with arbitrary borders where we say there are sub-laws that these people have to follow, different than the ones these laws. And you can walk across the line and smoke weed there versus not there. States don't literally exist. Countries don't even literally exist. But people literally exist. So no, just because why would 12 states deserve more representation at the population level when the only actual tangible thing to represent are people? States are a bullshit concept in the first fucking place.
I think it's weird that we have many governments to make up our entire government.
It's insane.
It is odd because we are the only industrialized nation that works this way.
And again, they don't covet it. They don't covet it.
Yeah.
You could still have smaller governments. You still have to see to the needs of a people in Wyoming are different than the needs of the people in Florida. And the different ways they apply taxes are a thing that you have to be considerate of. But also the way right-wing states apply taxes tend to be more popular because it often will be lower taxes. And then those states literally become burdens on blue states that use more fair tax systems. California pays for the welfare of places like Kentucky and Mississippi. Places like Kentucky and Mississippi per capita use more welfare than California. Those states cost the federal government more than they give in taxes. And blue states like California give the government more than they take back out from the government. So all the shit Republicans they are the biggest fucking hypocrites because they're acting like the right-wing states, the red states, those are the moochers. Weird, because it's your states that are on higher occurrences of welfare and you're not even paying for it yourself. The blue states are bailing you out. Jesus Christ, it's fucking crazy. Anyway, sorry, Scotty. So that was a long way of saying states aren't things. States aren't themselves people. The people in states are people. And being drawn between an arbitrary line where we change the tax system and whether or not you can smoke weed is not enough to justify, well, they need extra representatives for a much smaller population. And it also means your vote doesn't mean as much. If you're in California and you're voting for a senator, even if you get the guy you want, that senator's power is way less than that collection of people that is a smaller population because they get more votes.
And what we see now that happens with our current system is our representatives aren't even representing the population. They're people that they're supposed to. So many Republicans aren't having town halls with their constituents. They're ignoring their constituents. You can't even talk to, at least in a lot of places, definitely in Florida, I can't even get on the phone with my state representative. Ashley Moody, Rick Scott go straight to voicemail. You can't even talk to somebody that works for them in Congress. You never get a reply email. You never get a return phone call. They don't want to hear from their constituents. I'm not saying the Democratic Party does better, but if they're truly going to represent their constituents, but they never talk to them, then they're not a true representation.
90% of Americans believe all of the Epstein files should have been released. Were they?
Nope.
Yeah, I looked at some of them through like the J-mail, but I guess a lot of stuff to read, and your boy ain't really trying to read stuff like that. Well, I mean,
yeah, you can't literally read them all, but
caught, but like, I ain't trying to read all that. You know, that's
the point. Isn't for everybody to read it. The point is to be able to find out who the pedophiles are.
100%. Yeah, no, I agree. Hang them in town square.
You said it, not me.
Would y'all?
I'm not publicly advocating for any violence on YouTube. TOS.
Nope, wasn't me. That was not me.
Wasn't me. You know, he was saying hypothetically. He was saying
hypothetical.
He was saying hang them some nice Christmas tree ornaments in the town square.
Or was it just a reference to history?
Scotty, we do got you right. Scotty, we do got to start wrapping up. But the answer to your question is just every other place does it better. Every other developed nation has national health care. We don't. We suck.
Yeah.
I see.
We spend the most.
How would you explain that to somebody who isn't big on government, like with the 401k bump or the retirement fumble? Like, why I trust them with our
same way I just explained it to you
as well. No.
Social Security would be well funded if we just removed the cap that's on it, right? Because people that make over $172,000 a year, after they've paid the 6% FICA tax on that $172,000, that's it. They are no longer taxed for Social Security. That's it. Nothing additional comes out. If we remove that cap or even just increased it, let's just say 5 times, it would be so well funded. But
we could also just abolish it. Abolish Social Security, UBI.
Hey.
Oh yeah, we need a basic income.
I guess it's too. Y'all said enough. I ain't really gonna ask another question like that. I appreciate y'all's time.
Bye, Scotty.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good night.
You too.
Land doesn't vote, even in a boat, because land cannot actually be in a boat. We'll have to take this one very quick. Sorry you waited on so long, but Jeff in New York. Jeff, how old are you?
Hi, I'm 27.
Welcome, Jeff. I think from the voice, I think this is Jeff.
Yeah, it's me.
What up, Jeff? All right, what's your question?
Hi, so I kind of wanted to begin by kind of apologizing to you guys in the community. for, in the past coming off bad faith and just having ignorant takes on things.
I appreciate that, Jeff. You've done this before, and then episodes after said some crazy ass shit in live chat. So why don't we just get to the question and know that we obviously haven't kicked you out. So, hang out and do whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So the question that I have tonight is basically, when it comes to capitalism versus socialism, I'm curious your opinion on this. Why would socialism be the better answer as opposed to a more regulated version of capitalism, which is what the liberals want? Just out of curiosity, what would be the issues with that?
It's because the liberals want to put Band-Aids on gushing wounds. Jeff, it's not that just the issues of well, what if that could work? It can't. Socialism is all that is left. We often get into essentially debates of how did things work in the past versus holy shit, dude. If you actually change the federal poverty line to something actually realistic, because the federal poverty line does not actually right now, what is it? It's something so stupid. You're no longer in poverty if you make $13,000 a year. Is it something shitty like that in America? What's the poverty line these days?
Poverty line. Oh, actually, no, it's lower than that. I believe poverty line is still technically to the government about 18,000.
Okay, I'll see if I can find it to be clear. But yeah, let's just say it's 18,000. What is the federal poverty line? If you actually applied what the actual poverty line should be, and it's funny because we do assessments where it's what would a living wage be? And these days it's minimum $60,000 a year. It is something that feels crazy because it is so high. And then you assess what you can actually get with 60,000. And you're oh shit, you're still struggling with $60,000 a year. When I've got my first job that was semi-high paying at $30,000 a year, I was whoa, yeah, I've got all this money now.
I see where I was thinking of. Yeah, so it's 16,000 if you're a single individual.
So imagine our current government, Jeff, in this capitalist society believes that if you hit $15,961 a year, you are not any longer poor. That's why not capitalism, because our fucking system is so goddamn stupid. And right now, jobs are going away. We are enabling and funding a system by which, Jeff, if there aren't jobs for us to do, how will we make money and even have a capitalist system? So whether you want to argue about capitalism versus socialism in the past, I still think socialism would have been better. I still think imperialistic countries are the reason why some socialist states failed. Okay, fine, whatever. We can have that argument. What if we just let AI and robotics go on the direction it currently is, and the person with the most money in the world, who has the biggest robotics company and one of the biggest AI companies in the world, literally last week, despite being super right-wing, 2 weeks ago rather, said the solution to AI unemployment will be large government checks. How is capitalism even possible for that future?
Wait.
Yeah, I did hear about that being said earlier today, actually.
But forget the Elon thing. Just Jeff, that's the question. If we are automating and replacing not jobs, the humans that do jobs. And right now our government is not stopping it, and no government is stopping it, because the people at the top, the people with the money, are all sitting and going, I want that to happen because I, the person, want the most power. I don't give a fuck about my country. I don't give a fuck about these people. Look at how much I let poor shit happen. Okay? So that's the world we're in, and that's what we're headed toward. Forget the thing I said about Elon. How would a capitalist society take care of people where, let's even say 60% of people, there are still jobs for 60% of people. There just simply aren't jobs for 40% of people. What would a capitalist nation do to those 40% of people? How would it take care of them?
I mean, it wouldn't really be able to.
Great. So you agree capitalism will not work in an automated future?
That's true.
How many years do you think we are away from that automated future? It's a trick question.
I would say within the next decade, maybe.
It's here, baby. Because you don't have to put even 40% of people out of work. You only have to put any percentage of people out of work. You only have to have less jobs than there are people to fill them. And right now, the only reason it looks like there are more jobs than people to fill them is because there are more jobs if you're including jobs that do not pay you enough to live, aka slavery. If you are accepting wages that are essentially slavery, I don't even like saying essentially, it's pretty much literally slavery. Slaves had houses, slaves got to live in places, slaves got to eat. If all you're giving people are enough to sleep and eat and nothing else, not make their life better, and you are committing to them their life of poverty, but they have a job, then those jobs should not count toward whether or not a person is actually employed. We should only count who that can work is working, and that work that they're putting in is paying them back a livable wage.
Yep.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
So it's already here. Automation and robotics and even innovation took us past that a long time ago. People always say and somebody, they got their, they did this job and they got replaced by a robot, but then a job opened up to fix the robot. Well, it wasn't the low labor guy who was literally like packing bags that got replaced by a robot. It was like, I was packing bags full of grain and now I'm a software engineer. It's the next generation. Maybe his kid got there, but he struggled and he went to another, probably lost money, and his situation got worse. They act like innovation has been better for the people who also got put out of jobs. It wasn't. They got worse jobs, lower paying jobs. They solidified a poor class in this country, a poor working class in this country. A capitalist country is allowed to have a poor working class. That's why, again, I'm not saying do anything. I'm surprised more people haven't gone, I work hard 40 hours a week and I am in poverty. I think I got to kill somebody about this. They shouldn't do that. Don't kill people. I'm just surprised more people haven't.
Or haven't thought that way, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more with that. Like, wait,
which part? Don't kill people.
I've worked
Jeff,
at
don't
least
go
40 hours a week for. Sorry, what was that?
We're not attorneys. I'm not responsible for what you do.
Oh no, yeah. I promise I won't do that.
Thank you.
Don't do that.
Thank you. Please, everybody, one in chat if you promise to not resort to violence. I just need YouTube to know we're good boys over here. You promise. I didn't wink. That was a twitch. It was involuntary. Okay. Not a single one in chat so far. Guys, I need some ones in chat. All right, put a 1 in chat if you promise to not resort to violence, or if you believe the workers of the world should unite. Either one of those, just put a 1 in chat. Okay.
That made it go off. Yeah. I got a 666. Does that count?
I got a 6-7. All right, Jeff. Anyway,
I got a few of those.
Last pointer question, and then we're gonna wrap it up for the night.
I think that was pretty much it, actually. I also wanted to say, like, since watching the show, I've learned so much from you guys, and I appreciate that.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, you have.
Workers of the world unite.
Yeah.
All right. Later, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
Have a good one.
Someone put 60-70.
Guy, no, Scap Squatch, you're being naughty. You said 1 for the latter. We're not establishing which one. We're just writing one. This is a binary. Turns out they do exist. Either 1 or nothing.
Oh my gosh.
All right. this fucking episode. People keep asking about the only thing that's different about me today is I slept really bad last night, so I might be a little bit more delirious, but nothing crazy.
Delulu.
No, I don't nothing insane. You guys, sometimes I just get put in a mode. You guys know I'm mostly a silly goose. If anything, when you see me in these modes, I'm coming out of my shell more. Just usually I'm like, I don't know. I feel like my partner, Luthien, if you're still in chat, tell them whether I'm telling the truth. I think tonight resembles more the way I'm just kind of a silly goose all the time, as opposed to something wrong going on. Yeah, I'm a silly guy. I literally gave you my burp thing. Ooh, it's fun.
Oh,
it's
that
fun.
was
Try
funny.
it next time. Yeah, that sounds good. And we could, Forrest is trying to get something scheduled. We could work that out.
What's Forrest trying to get scheduled?
It would be later in the month, though, because we still have the fundraiser to figure out. Forrest wants to do a reaction video to an interview Piers Morgan did with a creationist, and he wants to feature Jackson Wheat in it. And so he's asking if we could do it on the line.
Makes sense.
That's the one. Try it, guys. It's fucking fun. Did Luthien give a confirmation that I'm a silly goose?
I did not see her
She's
comment.
under the weather. She might have fallen asleep.
I don't blame her if you're not feeling good.
I'm mostly a silly guy. I just have a job to do. And, you know, sometimes it's the dude. I would like to point out, not that unhinged. Is that not the way I usually react to people being like, your blasphemy will make you burn in hell? I double down. Let's make sure I made it worth it. If I'm going to hell anyway, because that's a binary, either heaven or hell. And apparently if you cross the threshold of going to hell, you just are going to hell. And so I'm already going for the blasphemy I've already done. By the way, Jesus lets people into heaven who said they will enjoy watching them get raped. Is that your Jesus?
That's insane. Yeah.
That's a fucking bizarre Jesus.
Well, there's Luthien. She said she did fall asleep.
Yeah. I'm a very silly goose.
But you are a silly goose.
Yeah. She's got a lung thing going on right now, and it hurts her to laugh. And she's literally had to tell me to stop making her laugh.
I've had to do that before to other people, not you.
That's what a silly goose I am, guys. I'm just goosing.
It's like, can you not make me laugh because it physically hurts to laugh?
I'm just goosing. All right. That was the show. Bye.
Bye.
Smooth, Jimmy. I don't even have the blackout ready. Any of that shit.
Oh.
Fade.